Mama. We made it. Bang, 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 bang. What it do, Respect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another glorious and gorgeous episode of the Mama We Made It podcast.
You dig?
We have my brother in arms, Earry Hall, in the motherfucking building.
Bless.
I just want to start out and say God bless the platform, right? And y'all may be thinking that the platform that I'm speaking of is this Mama We Made It forum, but the platform that I'm speaking of is ourselves as human beings. And God bless each and every one of us that is becoming and is on the path and is living their life towards becoming, because we all are a platform. And I'm really excited because our guest today literally embodies what an accumulation of energy and experience becomes on this road we call life. Earry Hall is a human being first, a son, a brother, a lover, a fighter, a creator, right? And I've known him for quite some time, and in the beginning it was merely an exchange of energy and good vibrations. And then as time has passed, we got together and really began to explore the form behind each one of our shining functions, if you will. Yeah. And today we get to speak with Earry about his path in becoming and his path into who he is today. And also we get to give it to y'all. So buckle the fuck up. Brother Earry, thank you so much for joining us, family.
Yeah, man.
Bless, no pressure.
It is absolutely magical, G. Like, I just want to levitate right now and channel my inner David Blaine, but I'm going to keep it to the ground level for now. Yeah. I want to start out here, man, because I truly feel like as we look back on our lives, we realize that who we are, how we think, how we kind of see the world is an accumulation of our experiences and the whole nature versus nurture concept. And somebody looking at you today would never know, unless they grew up with you, what has created this enigma known as Mr. Earry Hall. Good vibes only. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see you soon.
Vibes, yeah. I man, you know, even my name, man, you know.
Talk to me.
So my dad, incredible guy. He's a cool guy. He's mad cool, from the hood, like Southside Chicago.
Is that where you were born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised.
Southside of Chicago.
Southside Chicago. My pops is like, you know, born in the hood, but parents from the South.
Yeah.
Great migration brought us to Chicago, by way of Mississippi and Arkansas.
Wow.
And my father's father, his name was they called him Earl all of his life, right? And you know, but his name is Earry, right?
Wow.
And what happened was he thought that his name was a typo, and that you know, it was just so different. It was just like, no, my name is Earl. So for all of his life, my dad even knew him as, you know, Earl. You know?
Oh, man.
And, you know, when, you know, later in his life, he accepted the word Earry.
Wow.
He accepted the word Earry, and, you know, that's...
How did that come about? Do you know?
Well, you know, my dad started to take care of him in his later years, and...
it came later.
Like later
years. Yeah. I mean, he passed away in his 70s. But, you know, my dad, I think probably around like his maybe late 50s, you know. My dad was super hands-on son, you know. So, you know, when his when his parents got older, he moved them in with him.
Wow. That's incredible.
And his pops, you know, but he's super close with his pops.
Yeah.
You know, a father's son for sure. And you know, they were talking. Eventually, you know, he saw his dad's records and was like, "Man, Dad, wait, it says your name is Earry." He's like, "I don't know, my name is Earry, actually." And
Earry Hall.
And yeah. So later on in his years, my dad championed that, you know, of like,
oh yeah,
yo, you're Earry. Like that's I won't let anybody call you Earl again around me.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And my dad yeah, and you know, my dad named me Earry because he really wanted to hear his father's name. Wow. Still, you know?
That's incredible.
So it's also crazy. So I grew up with this name, right? And it's weird. A lot of people don't even know how to say it. Erie.
It looks like Erie,
it looks
by
like
the way.
Erie,
Yeah.
absolutely. And, you know, and it's no one's fault, you know, the way that people pronounce it.
I literally just corrected myself. Earry Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's phonetically the way it's phonetically spelled. It's Erie, but my dad, so years later, you know, went through college. I ended up graduating and going to New York, and I ended up opening up a store with a friend, pop-up store. It was supposed to be open for 3 months. Ended up doing really well. Kept it open for 7 months, which is dope. Got sponsorships, which was beautiful. In the midst of a recession, right? I'm this young kid. I'm like 20. Damn, I might have been 22, maybe 23, something like that. Store in Nolita, Soho, like I'm next to like Vince and like around the corner from Versace, and I'm this black kid, you know, from Chicago, and this woman as well, Q. She was my business partner, but the carpenter that helped us remodel it, he was a historian. So every time he would see my name, my full name, he'd say, "Man, your name is so beautiful, man." His name was Michael. And he's always say, "Your name's so beautiful, so beautiful." And I always felt, I grew to love my name as a kid. You want to be accepted. So you don't want the weird name, you know, but you know, I never had a nickname. I never told anybody to call me anything other than my name. But he would see my name and he'd say, "Your name's so beautiful." And when he'd say that, I'd be like, "Yeah, thanks, bro." Right? Like, because my name's ethnic, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? But he actually knew what it meant.
Wow.
He knew what my name meant, my full name. So my first name, Uri, it's ancient Egyptian. It's Kemetic. It means it's the land it means the land of Ur, which is the land that it was said it's the land that God bestowed his wisdom upon. Wow. In ancient Egypt. Wow. So wild. So my middle name is crazy. So that's my first. That's what my name means, right?
Wow.
My middle name it's Jamil, which is beautiful. The male version of beautiful in Arabic. So you know, Mike, the historian, the carpenter. It was like, "Man, so your name literally means the wisdom of God is beautiful." Your first and middle name.
Wow. And he told is he the one that told you all this?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So whenever someone says my name, they're saying the wisdom of God is beautiful.
Oh man, that is incredible.
Isn't that cool?
I'm gonna start calling you Uri Jamil.
Yeah, that's just the wisdom of God is beautiful. And so, but it was also super crazy and super freaky is when I was a kid, I used to love writing poetry as a kid, man. And my dad really nurtured that and championed that. And my mom did as well. But I remember my father specifically always saying, because I'll give him advice on really like, he'd ask me kind of adult things like, you know, sometimes like, you know, when his mom passed away, she was a mama's boy as well. You know, I saw him crying. It's like, "Man, why? You know, why, son? You know, because I loved her too." And, but I'm like, you know, I'm probably like 8, 9, something like that. And And I told him, like, man, Dad, you should be celebrating. Those should be tears of joy. Like, she's in a better place right now. She's happy.
Your mother?
No. My father's mother.
Your grandmother.
And she's in a better place now. She's happy, and you should be too, you know. And she mentioned you too, but you got to be happy for her. And you know, I was a kid, but I would say things like that all the time. You know, things that like kids like. If that's an adult conversation, that's a
exactly.
I want my friend, my peer to say, you know, I want my peer to say something like that to me. You know, if my kid says it, it's like, yo, you are my peer, you're my friend. You know. So my dad would always say I was wise beyond my years, always as a kid, and then I grow up, and you know, this is kind of one of my first big business ventures, I guess, for me at the time. And this guy tells me that the wisdom of God is beautiful. It's my name. My name's about wisdom, you know. Which
it was embedded in your being.
Yeah. I mean, and really, it was embedded in.
It defined you.
I mean, it was embedded in my genes as well, because you know it came from my grandfather.
Your grandfather, absolutely.
It's a family name, so you know, shout out to my grandfather and my dad for keeping it going. You know.
So, do you introduce yourself as Earry?
Always.
It's Earry.
Always.
So y'all better know
Always.
from now on.
Earry Jamil.
Earry Jamil.
Earry is in the building.
This is me, Earry Jamil Hall, yeah.
There it is. Well, welcome, Earry.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
Earry, this is beautiful because even that attachment to the name, it shows and it brings to light to me how strong your family tree is.
For sure,
A sense of, because you're somebody that truly, I feel like, is community, right? Earry Jamil is community, right? We're building this community, and I feel like it started out really strong for you. And I want to go through that as a kid to really understand the family in which you came up in and what that really, like, how that shaped your mind as a kid, because you're somebody that truly has wisdom beyond their years, but you also grew up in an area where, you know, people that weren't as lucky chose different paths, and people that weren't as lucky, like, felt different types of ways about what was going on around them. I feel like your family structure and the foundation is an anomaly. And I really want to get into that because I feel like that was the seed and the start of a sense of being and a sense of community, right? Because you, every time I've come across you, I just feel like from the depths of your soul that you want something, your energy radiates is that there's always something bigger. There's always something more. There's always something that we can appreciate in the moment and aspire towards. And I really want to dig within your experiences in your childhood to really start to see how that shaped your mind now, because that was the foundation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, my scenario. You know, my scenario was, I guess it was normal and abnormal. You know, normal in the sense of, I was raised in a single parent home. You know, and you know a lot of my friends were as well. And I guess that is a stereotype that I would love to change. You know, in my community, especially, which I will change in my, you know, in my family, and also inspired to change in my community, in my immediate community as well, to really have these long-lasting relationships with spouses that end up raising our future, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, my mom and dad, they split when I was 3, and you know, so I never really saw them together. Both ended up having relationships after each other, but you know, I didn't really have them in the same house together, right? Which I guess shaped me in a lot of ways. It made me a lot closer to my mom. It made me very protective the way that I see women, it's in a very unique, it's through a very unique lens, because I was raised by a woman, and my younger sister, I was kind of her male, one of her stronger male figures. So, I think I helped raise her in ways which gives me that perspective as a son and as
a protector,
a protector, brother, father figure as well. Growing up, she was a bit closer to me than our dad. And later on, she got a bit more closer, but around that time, I really just wanted to make sure that she knew that she had me, that a man loved her, that didn't want anything from her. And because I knew that was the motives that she'd grow to encounter, as she grew up. And so that's a huge part of me, right? Like the way that I see women, and not really want to disappoint my mom and my sister, because
it's a big weight, no?
I mean, absolutely, but it's a beautiful weight, though.
Yeah,
because I think that without them, without that fear, I still have that fear of like, I don't want to. I want to become the man that I feel my mom and my sister deserve in their lives.
Yeah,
like I want to be the son my mom deserves. I want to be the brother my sister deserves, because they're incredible women.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely incredible women. I'm so blessed to have them in my life. So yeah, and then my older brothers, they didn't have the same moms, but two of them were very much involved in the street life.
Were you close with them?
Super close.
Okay.
Like those are.
What was the age difference here?
Man, let me see. One of my brothers is, I think he's probably 20 years older than me. Nah, actually, probably like 18 years. One's 18, I think one's 16 and one's 13 years.
Got it. So it's significant.
That's a huge age gap.
Yeah.
So to be close
Huge.
with that huge
Yeah.
age gap.
Yeah.
How was that? Like,
Man, it was
that was ultimate protectors, low key.
ultimate. I mean, huge protectors. I mean, these were, guys that were very. I mean, they're not in that lifestyle. I don't believe anymore.
Yeah.
But around that time, in Chicago, gangs and like drugs and that whole community, it's prevalent, and it's so prevalent that it's a norm, really.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's wild to think about conceptually.
Absolutely. I mean, I would be in, it's kind of like, it's so crazy thinking of it now, because gangs were kind of like teams, right? And
I fucking feel you.
and the way that you like rep Chicago Bulls, you wear your Chicago,
right.
or the way you rep the Lakers, or like, but everyone was on the team, really, and a lot of my friends who were, those would be the cool kids, but it's so crazy, man. And I think we all have encountered this. That 50 Cent verse, in high school, you was a man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Right? A lot of the times, man, the cool kids in high school and then, grammar school, those were the kids that didn't really amount to their level of cool, didn't really transcend out of adolescence.
Yeah.
Peaks at high school.
Hey. Their
Absolutely.
level of cool did not transcend outside of adolescence. That is like the most eloquent way I've ever even heard that concept, because you're damn right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what happens. A lot. I mean, even in culture now.
Even my high school days.
Yeah,
sure.
And I feel like it wasn't South Side of Chicago.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, as people like a lot of kids just want to be cool, but what is cool then, right? And what is cool in that system? And a lot of people get caught up in the cool and get eaten up by it. You
Absolutely.
Shout out to Lupe.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
Straight up.
I mean, that's like, but I mean, that was the norm and cool, So I had a lot of friends that were, Young GD, it's Folks, it's, Blackstone, Vice Lords, or BDs or whatever, and
was it like you were going through elementary and then junior high and then high school and then each little like couple along the way?
Yeah.
Was it just like
no? It was. I mean, like I was probably. I had way more friends that would claim gangs than I had no friends that claimed gangs, right? And my brothers were really in that, and
were you always protected? Were they like stay the fuck out of here?
Absolutely.
Like,
do not
come and play this
absolutely,
game.
Yeah. So, I mean, my brothers, I remember having, one of my older brothers.
Because they're in their mid-20s by the time you're hitting that junior high school range.
And are they living with you? Or no?
No.
They're out.
Well, one of my brothers would be in and out. But my other brother, he didn't live with us. But the brother that was closest was in and out of the crib. I remember him sitting me down, and one day.
How old were you around? Do you remember?
I was probably, I don't know, man. I was young, but I was old enough.
Like elementary age, junior high?
Probably, I would say maybe 11, something like that, 11, 12. And
these are formative years.
Yeah, absolutely. Super important years. I mean, that's kind of when we start to confine ourselves to cool, right? Most people. And so my brother, knowing that, I remember we were shooting, I had a basketball rim in my backyard and in the backyard of my mom's crib that she put up for me to practice on. And we were shooting around. And I remember him telling me, if you turn out like me, I'll kill you.
Was he like dead serious?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like seeing and also I knew my brother, he's been in prison. He's been in he wasn't he wouldn't just say no shit like that.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
He wouldn't just he wouldn't just say that.
It wasn't like big bro, little bro. It was just
it was like
real talk.
Yeah, and that was something that me knowing him and me loving him, but also knowing he was serious and made the idea of that less cool, because that investment was something that I feel he was terrified in me making. You know what I mean?
Were you? Did you feel like you were on that path?
No, I mean, it was easily accessible.
Yeah, I mean, all your friends,
absolutely,
and everything. I mean, it's just almost like a natural progression.
Absolutely, yeah.
But did you feel like this is what you?
There were moments where I felt like it was cool, right? But there were also, because you would see kind of the handshakes were cool and if anybody fucked with somebody else, it was immediate, you know what I mean, immediate protection, and but it was also extremely violent. It was also, extremely careless.
Even then,
man, absolutely, yeah. I mean, seeing people get stomped out, or shot at, or
what was that like?
Seeing friends,
you're growing up in this area, right? And the world, there's places in the world where it's worse than this. There's places in the world where this is something so fucking foreign. It's like this happens here. Where are we? Right? But as a kid growing up in that, and also having another layer in which your older brothers who are significantly older, so they're you're getting into high school and they're in their mid-20s. to like going on early 30s. So they're like at that point where I guess kind of like we are now, and telling their younger brother who looks up to them, right? And they're saying, look, like, we get this, but you're not playing this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, your figures that may live that life were also able to communicate, like, we're here, we made these choices. It may not register that we wished we did it differently, but with the next seed in this family tree, you're not continuing along this branch.
Yeah, man. It's you know, I think my brothers kind of saw me as the future, kind of. And
that's amazing.
To that point, what was your outlet? Was it creative? Was it sports?
It was definitely sports for me. But I was highly creative, but I was, which is really interesting. Now that I'm a creative, I would be, I guess, reprimanded for like drawing in class, and there weren't many art classes. If there was an art class, I excelled in it. I may have taken one art class as a kid, but you know, growing up, you know, I don't kind of having to choose, like, you know, if I had to choose between art and basketball, I chose basketball. But I think if when I was in school, art was nurtured a bit more, I would have delved into it a bit more, a bit sooner. Yeah. But I would always be reprimanded if I, like, you know, drew stuff. So I didn't.
Reprimanded by who?
Just teachers. But what's really dope, man, you know, so I used to get, you know, when I would draw in class, the teacher would find it, of course, tell my mom, write on it, Earry is drawing in class again, right? So, you know, fast forward to now, you know, I'm a designer, and I mean, I've designed for the largest brands in the world, done incredible, like, I mean, had incredible opportunities, so blessed. But as a creative, you know, my mom, you know, her generation, not a lot of, that wasn't like a path that a lot of people really nurtured, you know. My mom really didn't nurture that path, understandably, because
it really didn't exist like that then.
I mean, and it wasn't as stable, you know. And I think, you know,
is it even today?
Absolutely not. But it's a bit more. There are a lot more jobs that you can get as a creative. There are a lot more. There's a lot more education behind creativity now. Creativity is kind of one of the cool fields now, you know, to be in general. And I think that's probably because of technology and how accessible people's actual stories are, you know, actual creatives. You didn't really get a chance to really talk to creatives, cool creatives, you know? So, you know, my you know, now, like, my mom sends me those on my birthdays. My mom sends me those notes that teachers wrote.
I love that. That's incredible.
As a joke, it's like, keep going against the grain, baby. You know? And my mom, so dope, man. When I was a kid, I remember this vividly. Whenever they would send me, you know, they would send me home with these, you know, drawings that I was supposed to give my mom. You know, she would always say, it's not wrong, baby. It's just wrong timing.
Wow.
You know? It's not wrong. It's just wrong timing, you know? And, man, I use that. I mean, that rings in my head a lot. You know what I mean?
That is a moment, though.
Oh,
because
man,
if it was wrong,
right,
as the parents saw it, you would have seen it differently.
Totally differently. But, you know, it kind of, it also let me know, like, timing is absolutely paramount.
Yeah, it's great that she didn't discourage that. You know,
like, man.
Hey, stop doing that. Listen to your teachers. But
it
was like low key. Like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
but you'll get there.
Keep
going, and even that message then.
Incredible.
Who are some of your role models as a kid? Because I'm thinking like when you have these older brothers who are telling you, "Don't be like me," you know, and I feel like a lot of your immediate role model, if it's not your father, maybe it's an inspiring like older sibling.
You know, actually, man, I remember saying as a kid, you know, that my mom was my role model. Entrepreneur, came from, I mean, hardworking grandmother as well, but they weren't affluent, you know what I mean? First, to go to college and to graduate and just, I mean, built everything herself, you know? So I was like, man, you're a woman and I know that, but you're a person, and what you've done is hard for a man or woman, you know? And especially for a woman, knowing, you know, that things aren't necessarily as equal as they should be in your industry, you know? Man, that was like my role model. That was like, she's running a race with weights on and like keeping up, you know what I mean? By herself. Yeah. You know, and everybody else is
basking in that.
And everybody else is in a relay, you know what I mean? But she's, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, and those weights could have been me and my sister. Those weights could have been, you know, other things that, you know,
life itself,
other guys didn't have to deal with, you know, but she still ran that race, man. And she wanted to compete, which is absolutely incredible. So, you know, I definitely saw her as a role model. But in terms of male role models, you know, my dad, he's super dope dude, you know, but he wasn't somebody that I was like, I want to be that guy. You know, I really didn't have anyone in my life that was like, I want to be that guy. Wow. So I you know, so I grew up kind of like, man, kind of attaching my interest to people in media and in eras, right? I loved the 70s. I didn't really fuck with hip hop, and like, you know, my brother was like, you know, listening to Pac and my friends, and you know, and you know, I was listening to more like Biggie and all of that, and Nas and stuff, but I really didn't listen to rap a lot, man. I listened to like soul a lot, like Shuggy Otis. And as a kid, man, like none of my friends were listening to that. Yeah, none of my. So there was nobody that I could have a conversation with about music outside of my mom or my dad. We would be listening to the same stuff.
Did they expose you to that, or was that like your own find?
Oh, for sure, they exposed me to it. And I saw my mom as like I still see my mom as mad cool. She's mad cool. You know? So she had great taste in music. And my dad, he's mad cool too. And he's a record collector. So his jazz catalog was just crazy. So the sounds that I would hear were just always really, really beautiful. They surrounded me with a lot of sonic candy, you know? And I kind of grew up with that taste level, you know?
Sonic
Older
candy.
Absolutely.
Candy. Eat it up.
But I grew up with that taste level, man. You know, with that really like that sweet, like robust taste level and sound. Where, you know, a lot of my friends, they kind of, which a lot of our friends, peers now, they kind of just listen to what they're fed. Yeah. You know, and it's not usually nutritious, really. You know. And
you gotta get the right type of candy, yo.
Yo, straight up.
Shit ain't nutritious what y'all putting in your bodies.
Straight up. Yo, like even, I mean, bro, like, I mean, we pay attention to what we eat, right? And, you know, in health. But I mean,
trying to get better.
But which we all should be doing.
You pay attention, you just don't care.
Yes. At moments, I do not give zero.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, isn't that so interesting? With, I mean, our diet, it doesn't just have to pertain to what we ingest. You know what I mean? In terms of food, you know, it's definitely in what we ingest intellectually as well, for sure. You know, so like, you know, the things that I would ingest intellectually. You know, I really, you know, I would hear the stuff that's like, you know, I'm a thug. I'm a killer. I sell pocket full of stones. Hate in the middle of the bar. You know what I mean? But you know,
that wasn't nutritious though.
It wasn't really, and it isn't really nutritious to our community, really. You know.
Also, you're so turned off to it by your brother.
Absolutely.
So like now you're listening to these songs, you're like, all right, there's the glorifying of this. You just can't really get with.
Absolutely, and I also know, and even as a kid, I also knew that it was, kind of brainwashing us to see ourselves differently. You know, like we weren't talking about being regal or royal or smart or beautiful. You know, we were talking about like killing each other and like selling each other poison, which we still do. You know, and objectifying our women and objectifying each other. You know, you know, I was listening to stuff that were like, it's like, Marvin Gaye and Al Green, they're talking about love. I'm so tired of being alone. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Sly and the Family Stone, like things that were really, you know, Bob Marley, things that were really about mood and like love and life really, you know,
because those cats like it's beautiful when you have creators, right? You see these types of worlds that we're living in, especially now, you know, even like you think of Atlanta and Chicago, like it's not wrong, but they're speaking of the glorification of what their communities have gone through right now. Right?
But I mean, but that's on some National Geographic. That's the same shit that rap is. The same shit that, you know, when you see those infomercials about Africa, donate to Africa, and it's some white chick standing next to an African kid with flies on their face and some shit like that.
Sarah McLachlan playing in the background.
You know, but that's all you see, right? That's all you see, and that's how you see Africa, you know? Yeah. But man, I mean, there are places in Africa that are absolutely regal,
robust,
beautiful, like modern, tasteful. You know, their kids look like royalty, bathed in gold, like beautiful. You know what I mean? But we don't see that, you know, because how would we see us? How would that change the social dynamic of what it is to be black in America, which is huge. Being black is a huge it's a huge commodity, you know. It's very much like gold, for sure. You know,
agreed.
In terms of culture, just the way that black people have kind of infused culture with so much color and rhythm and love and, you know, and soul. But you know, it's crazy because it's kind of it's a dynamic that's kind of been exploited, you know. And in the 70s, it was beautiful because a lot of, you know, people of color, they knew that. They knew they were royal. They were fight the power. I'm a king. I'm a queen. You know what I mean? They were calling each other brother. They were calling each other, you know, they were calling each other other things as well. But, you know, it wasn't anywhere near as much as drastic as or as negative as the 90s, you know. So,
and it was a lot more unity back then.
Absolutely, a lot more unity
around the cause,
and a lot more intellectual music and a lot more, you know, intellectual spaces. So
you even had like Dylan back in that day, like speaking against wars
absolutely,
and life,
absolutely,
and, you know, all of these cats during that time. It was like, I feel like it's crazy because it's a little foreshadowing as to now, right? Like you see. Donald Trump is president right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are a lot of decisions that are being made that in the grander scheme of things, unless we're really politically in tune, we can only see them for the surface value, right? I was having a talk with a friend of mine, and I was like, do you really think that Donald Trump can really, like, undo our economy and really set us back, right? And what he was saying, he's like, you know what? I really don't think the economy in 4 years, I don't think so. But in terms of foreign policy and in terms of different things that are outside of our control, of course you can, right? But then you see, you have this supposed leader, right? That is making these statements that you also now see in this world of access that people are not agreeing to. Just like back in that time, it was Vietnams and all of these different things happening, and the social unrest in the community, black and white, right? But now, just like then, I feel like a lot more people are banding together around ideology, right? Around a concept of something different than what's given to us. And I feel like going back to those creators and those artists is what the Marvins and the Sams and the Al Greens spoke to, right? Were the concept of something better than now.
Oh, absolutely.
The concept of something bigger than us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As opposed to where I feel like hip hop, even in that time, was aspiration based on what we didn't have, and now we're going to take it, which is that culture. You had these forces and these voices that were speaking on what I'm going through, what we're going through, what can this be, right? And it's beautiful to see that those types of voices, even outside of, you know, a dominant male figure in which you look up to, but then for you to tie yourself to eras, like the era in which you enjoy the most is a very significant decade.
It's huge.
The 70s.
Man, 70s was, and I mean, bro, I mean, even down to like, bro, I watched Good Times, you know, like religiously. I loved watching Good Times. I loved watching the Jeffersons. I loved watching 227. I loved watching those shows, man. And, you know, I was like into like, yo, whenever I could wear anything from the 70s, I would. Bell bottoms, fucking the hat. It was crazy. I used to say like in school, dynamite, you know, like fucking Jay-Z.
Oh my God.
I was, you know, I was that kid, and like, you know, but I you know, what I thought was cool wasn't really sagging your pants or like shit is like way crazy big for you. I was like, man, like fucking Marvin Gaye's fly, you know what I mean? Fucking Sidney Poitier's fly.
Did that separate you from your friends or your social circle?
Yeah, I mean, I would get teased, but I was also the cool kid. Girls liked me, and I was really athletic, so I was always on the basketball team, and like, you know, and you know, in my community, you're on a basketball team, you're in a whole nother, you're automatically in that cool kid crowd, especially if you're starting and if you're talented. So, you know, it was kind of you know, it was funny to people, but I kind of had to deal with it.
Dynamite, baby.
They had to deal with it, you know. And but yo, I mean, growing up, that's you know, I never really saw people in my community that I really looked up to. So I really aspired to be the to look up to my future self. Really absolutely.
Was that like from a young age, or
absolutely? I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's a very like profound way to look at it.
Absolutely. I mean, I knew that I could be really anything I wanted to be. My mom would always tell me that, man. She's so incredible. Such an incredible woman. And she would always say, like, whatever you want to do.
What did you want to do?
I wanted to be a basketball player when I was younger. I was really creative, but
Did basketball extend into high school? Was it like something
no.
you did
Basketball
serious?
went from, you know, grammar school, high school to college.
Oh, you played in college?
Yeah.
Okay, so basketball was really a hardcore path.
Yeah, man. I was we won state every year in high school that I was on varsity, and like 2 years after I was on varsity, well, 2 years after I left and went to school, the college I went to was basically, you know, I visited and, you know, met with coaches and all that jazz while I was in high school. And but when I got there, I had to really like work super hard to really get a chance, to
What
play.
was that? The competition was different?
Well, it was really in basketball, man, with many things. It's very much like any job. It's politics.
Absolutely.
How does your boss see you? How much confidence does your boss have in you to execute? And sometimes it's figuring out what that language is. I've always been terrible at that.
Why?
I've always been terrible at like.
Because you seem like someone who like is so aware socially of like, like communicating wise and just like what's going on around you.
But it's also I can't do it disingenuinely. I can't. So the person that you get from me, it's really how I literally feel. So if a coach wants me to if a coach wants me to do something that I don't think makes sense, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be vocal about it in a way that isn't offensive.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be vocal about it.
You're gonna challenge authority.
Yeah, I mean, which is anti-establishment, which is anti, coach sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight up, hey, do as I say.
Yeah.
I'm the coach.
Exactly.
You're the player.
Exactly.
Get out there.
Put
Put points on the board.
But I'm also I'm a very strategic thinker, So and I'm an involved teammate. So, I would challenge to say, and that's kind of the story of my life, it's kind of challenging, I would challenge to say, wait, what if we did it like this? Mm-hmm. This is possible.
Yeah.
Like, it saved time. We get to the bucket like this. Their defense is doing this. This would be perfect,
yeah.
right? What do you think? And as opposed to a coach saying, let's try it. It would usually be, no, this is what it is. Always.
And you're just like,
okay.
No.
Absolutely. Where other teammates would be like, a coach would say, this is what it is. And even if it's not a good idea, it's, all right, coach, you wanted me to do that? Okay, boom.
Yeah.
He does it. And then the coach is mad at him, but he's happy that he did what he did. You know what I mean? Or the coach, or he does it, fucks up. The coach is okay with it. And everything keeps going. Exactly. And if I would do it, well, if I would take a play and improvise in the way that I felt was better, and it worked, a coach would be pissed at me.
For real.
This is to spite me. This is, you know what I mean? So I was kind of that rebellious guy, but I would always be on teams because I had a 42-inch vertical. I could jump out the gym. Was really super athletic. I could bench press I could bench press with a lineman with the lineman team. I was really strong, really athletic. So I could rebound really well, and I used to love dunking on people. So that was like that could change the momentum of a game.
Yeah.
So, but it would just be kind of tough on coaches.
Yeah.
Did
that I guess did the allure for the game leave you because of the hard-nosed system that it was in, the dominance of authority, and also the politics?
Well, for sure, hell yeah. But
because for somebody to we all like the ball is life, hoop dreams.
Yeah.
Right. The ones that go through it and do it, like some are fortunate enough to have that great coach that's like learn each other. Let's
absolutely.
like a Rick Pitino, let's get it together. What do you know about the man next to you? Let's all be vocal. But then sometimes you have the hard-nosed coaches that sometimes a Bobby Knight is going to be really good for a type of player or not. Right. It's all in the cards. Right. But that is the game.
Absolutely.
Because even when cats get to the pros, the athlete is expendable.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Cool.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
You're getting shipped off, and we don't need to tell you, you're a commodity, my friend.
Exactly.
You're not like this. Like, I'll send you to New York if I want you to go, and I'm getting value for you.
Absolutely.
You become,
and that's, I mean, that system, man. It felt like, you know, we were objectified, you know, and it felt like we were expendable pieces in the game, you know. And you know, I remember looking around one day during a game, and you know, a coach, you know, running a play, and remembering, you know, the way, you know, the teams aren't really playing against each other. The coaches are playing against each other.
For real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody on the floor is doing exactly what these coaches are telling them to do. You know, and I felt like I was a coach. You know, I'm, you know, in life. You know, I'm not. You're
not one of the herd.
I'm not. You know, that's how I felt. You know, young, but also, you know, when I had the chance to stop playing sports and focus more on independence. You know,
was there a defining moment, or was it just like it phased out natural?
Man, you know, I was around a bunch of guys that were athletes as well, and you know, football, basketball. And I remember
you were bench pressing with the linemen. You were jumping out gyms doing backflips.
Man, no, bro. Like, I was like national dunk contests, all of that jazz, like crazy, like jumping over people. Yeah. I mean, and I'm like 6'4", 6'3" now, and I could still dunk. You know, like really
I'm 6 foot with a 3-inch vertical, dog. I cannot get up.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good. Run your race, bro.
My lack of calves and my just gorgeously chubby belly just do not allow me to enter the air.
Bro, run your race, bro.
Like, you got a 42-inch vertical. I got a 4.2 inch. You know what I'm saying?
But you jump out the gym in other ways.
Off top.
Absolutely. And we all do. You know?
We all do.
So, you know, run your race, bro.
Shit, we running, baby.
Right, straight
you know
up.
What I'm saying? I'm pre-Fontaine.
Straight up.
So you were around these athletes. Like, was there a moment, or was it just like what was that transition?
Yeah. It was like I'm not like these guys. You know, these guys are like highly impressionable. They see themselves as what they've been told to be.
Where the elite look like the herd.
I mean, they were the herd.
Yeah.
I mean, the elites usually in that realm, in entertainment,
yes,
and in sports, they're usually the herd. You know, usually, because it's very stereotypical. You know, wins. You know, I would love to see, you know, someone, you know, as I remember, you know, watching I mean, like a UFC, that whole community. I'm not really into UFC at all. Yeah. But I love how diverse the community is, right? You have a guy come to a weigh-in in a fucking Italian tailored suit. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. You know what I mean? And the other guy is probably in whatever, but
in his Reebok gear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But in basketball, everyone's dressed the same. They're wearing the same brands. They all have stylists and shit now that buy the clothes
like
for them.
Designer label.
There's nothing unique, and they all wear it the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you don't really get a chance to really see diversity. So a lot of people in that world, they kind of just adhere to what, that description or, that visual is. So for me, I was like, man, I'm not that. I'm not, the way that like there'd be dudes talking about like trading girls and, and for me, I'm like, man, that's, I guess that's the ability, I guess that's cool, but I don't want that girl that's willing to be traded. I don't want to
like what we really talking about
versus the reality.
And then that girl's like the hopeless romantic. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what is life right now?
Sometimes it's like those fantasies are just like fantasies, but the reality of it is like, no, this is
bro.
It's
bro.
like, bro,
this is
what?
not cracking at all.
I'm good on that.
It's
you know,
like something that what it like. Hey, it's all like ego bullshit.
Yeah.
shades.
It's like super
But you're
alpha,
like-
but then you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's
bruh?
like-
it's also like disgusting and like like whack. You know what I mean? And
unfulfilled. Yeah.
yeah, you know, and
There's such an emptiness to
Yeah,
that
exactly.
like allure.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Like,
Like,
dog,
yeah,
I just
sorry.
like I went through 6 chickies in the
Yeah,
whole team, man,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
And I'm like,
Straight
dog,
up.
like, all right, y'all just painted like a movie that somebody went on Pornhub and watched. But it's like,
right.
how'd you feel after that?
Right.
How long after that were you the man in your mind?
Right.
Because you have 6 of your other homies' fluids like
Yeah.
flowing. You know what I mean?
So nasty.
Is that really tight?
Yeah, bro. I mean,
Are y'all
and-
really like high fiving like
Yo,
that?
straight
like,
up.
what's good?
Straight up.
Hey, my man. Hey, you had her
And,
long enough,
bro,
Bring her
right.
in. And
And
she
that's-
walking over like
Jesus.
I'd be looking at her like, are you? What world?
bro, you know, but
insane.
that's like, you know, and that is that facade of like, you know,
that bravado.
Yeah. But you know, man, I you know, I'm so grateful, man, to have, you know, a mom that made me okay with being weird.
Yes.
She would always say like, man, you're so different, or you're so, you know what I mean? And she would say it in a way that's like,
It was like nurturing or
yeah, well, like comedically, like making fun of, like, you know, I'd buy some shoes. I'd want some shoes, and I'd be like, yo, mom, I need these. And she'd be like, these are so ugly. You're so weird. You know what I mean? And I wear them, and I'd be like, yo. And they have, you know what I mean? And
You had
she'd
your
be
bell
like-
bottoms on. you
Right?
like,
Yo, she'd be like, you know, so, man, you know, poor mom, man. You know? She had a, she
Thank mom though,
man, oh my God, bro.
because she still got him.
Man,
Shit.
dude, you know, when my mom visits my friends, I always introduce her to, you know, fam. I always have her come around Sunday dinner. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You were out of town when she was here, but man, you know, she sees my circle and she sees my life here, and she's like, man, Earry, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so proud of you. Like, you know, you're surrounded by so much love. You share so much love. It's so beautiful. You know? And, you know, but, you know, I was that weird kid that she had to like grow. You know what I mean? And man, I'm just so grateful for her because she saved my life for sure.
You were that
Tons of times.
weird kid, right?
For sure,
And
yeah,
offline, we had a very beautiful conversation about the definition of weird.
Yeah.
Can we pull that definition of weird up?
So my
Because
two-
imagine somebody like,
Yeah.
because like we've all been, I've been told I'm weird as shit. Like I'm very like, a motherfucker needs to have an exquisite palate to be able to digest me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I know. But when we hear weird, it's insane. It's incredible. Not insane, but it's incredible what, love you too, baby boy, what connotation does to things. When we think about paradigms and all this, like weird we see negatively or like kind of just, I don't want to be weird. I want to be special.
Yeah.
But what is the definition of weird?
So two of my favorite words, hands down, which we discussed offline earlier, are struggle and weird. So, but we're talking about weird. So weird, I would be called weird all the time, and from everyone, you know, people that love me, you know? And so you know. They call me weird with a smile. You know what I mean? Like, and so there are times where I had this like, you know, it feel alienating, but it also feel positive.
Yeah.
You know? And when my mom would say it would make me feel special, you know? And she would, no, actually, she wouldn't say, she would always say, you're not weird, you're special.
Yeah.
Right? No, she didn't say weird, you're special. I'm tripping. No, it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful.
She would always say, you're not weird, you're rare.
Oh. We found it,
That's
Mama.
actually what she would say. You're not weird, you're rare. Yeah. And so one day so that type of, even thinking about, that type of woman raised me.
Yes.
Someone that like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like really
Like
nurtured
that,
and
yeah.
made it cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You felt
Made
special.
you feel good about it.
Yo, I embraced it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and like bell bottoms was like, yo, Earry, you're rare, B. Like,
I wish I could be as rare
Say,
as you in bell bottoms,
yo.
but I have 0 calves. So it'd be like fucking stilts and bell bottoms. You know what I mean?
No, but like even like thinking about like, you can't really predict what your kid is gonna be into.
No.
And whatever
But you
that
can nurture
fucking-
them into comfort.
Absolutely. 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 And that's, some parents, they steer them away from certain directions.
Yeah.
Some totally embrace it, and they're like, that dad that, plays makeup with his daughter, that's fresh.
Yeah.
Super
To me.
fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That mom that, that tells her son that you're not weird, you're rare. That's fresh to me, man. And like, it was really on some like, it's really on some like, man, like this is dope.
Yeah.
It's dope that I meet. So I looked up the word weird, and weird. Well, when I was like probably in my teens, I looked it up and was like, moms calls me weird. Everybody calls me weird. I love it. What does it mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it means
Yeah, let's pull that up.
Pull it
Let's
up.
pull that up.
I totally
Thanks to technology.
Wait, there we go. Suggesting that something is supernatural or uncanny.
Bang, bang.
Incredible, right? So thinking about that, like if someone walks up to you and they say, you are supernatural, you're uncanny, it's a very different
Feeling than weird.
feeling than you're weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a negative connotation to it.
Absolutely. But really, that's the reality of what weird is. That's the reality of, that's the spirit of that word.
Yes.
It brought me closer to that word. It brought me closer to that reality. Like, make
Yes.
sure that you be unbelievable. Do things that are like unreasonable. Absolutely. And that's my fucking life, B.
I love that, B.
Absolutely, that's
real,
my
for
life.
real.
Especially in like after I stopped playing ball, that's when my life became like, yo, be absurd.
Take us through that.
Yeah.
Because that's a switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I had a conversation with one of my professors. I was a double major in college. I was in the School of Business and communications as well. So PR.
It's a beautiful marriage
and marketing.
of
Yeah,
two
yeah.
worlds of academia.
It was super cool. Yeah, it was super cool to like, be around other kids that were interested in the way stories were told about product and
Yeah.
I mean, it's marketing and PR. It's really just storytelling.
Yes.
And I loved literature. Still love literature. So, and I love the ability to earn as well. So, telling stories in a way that has ROI is something that is,
Yes.
beautiful for me.
Get that
Beautiful to
return
me.
on your
Yes.
intellect. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
I wish we had a Funk Flex bomb drop. Yeah, fucking.
I'm gonna 97.
We're getting the app.
Fucking come on, we need that air horn, that Jamaican air horn, real quick. But yeah, so I remember having a conversation with one of my professors. It's a consumer behavior class, and he was obviously teaching from the book, right? Everything, everything.
You would not find me in class if a teacher just went straight from the book.
Straight from the book.
I'll read the book. But
yeah.
Worse. Oh my
Thanks
God.
for standing here and reading this textbook.
That's
you're
worst.
basically there for attendance. They're marking your name as
And
being
especially
there.
in college,
to
when you're
get credit.
paying for that, you're like, yo, I already paid for the book and I'm
Yeah.
paying to be here. Like, I don't need to pay you to read me the book.
It was boring. It wasn't compelling.
Oh.
It was dated. It was a dated ass book, and it was a dated ass course. So I challenged the professor constantly to teach us. Constantly.
In what ways? How would you go about
asking
that?
questions that were relevant, So, technology wasn't a part of the social media wasn't a part of the conversation really in that consumer behavior class. It was for sure becoming a huge subject in business.
Sure.
And I would bring that up a lot. I would bring the way the media is messaging is changing.
Because the internet is coming to life.
Absolutely. I mean, the internet was huge. I mean, Facebook, that's Facebook,
And MySpace.
And MySpace, the end of MySpace, but
during that
in 2000, this was like 2005.
Okay, yeah. So as MySpace was ended,
Yeah, but Facebook was lit though.
Yeah.
Lit. Twitter was lit, yeah. And but those weren't in the conversation. So I remember having an argument with him and saying, I'm going to start a business that will make more. Well, it became a heated conversation. Right?
Was this in class?
Yeah.
Take us through the depths of this convo, my
Yeah,
G.
I mean, well, it was basically me saying, he was talking about ambiance, right, and how in retail, ambiance is everything, But he only talked about retail, like when you're there, But there's an ambiance that starts before you get there. There's a story that gets you there, And I was arguing that the story that gets you there, it's as if not more important than the destination, And you want the destination to be incredible, but they're gonna leave with the whole story, And sometimes the introduction is what you remember the most. So, it turned into it escalated, I guess, into me challenging him and saying, us challenging each other, right? But me challenging him and saying, I will start a business that will prove that this is a profitable theory and how to go about building a campaign, right?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna make more than his salary, right, this year. So in my mind, I'm like, that's 50,000. Yeah. Let me do 50,000 this year. I'm like, I'm 19 at the time, which is 50,000 is like, the fuck? You're not about to make $50,000. There are kids that are making 40,000 that are graduating, 50,000 that are graduating business school. You know what I mean? It's like, entry level. But I'm like, I'm gonna do 50, and I'm gonna show them, and boom, So I'm obsessed about this idea of doing something, but I had no fucking idea what I was gonna do. What was that destination for them, There has to be a destination. That's the end of the story, But
And prior to this, have you had any business, even just like in your journey growing up? Nothing. You didn't sell. You like nothing. This is it. The first time.
So the only thing really was my mom. My mom, she owns a market research firm, and she built her business from the ground up. And seeing her move, that's what really made me want to get into marketing. Seeing her move and seeing her make bread, you know, bought a vacation crib, bought a Lexus, she bought an RV.
Yeah, that's lit.
You know, she was lit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And independent. So I was like, man, I want to be able to do those things too, and do those things for her and my family as well. So
this is really the first time you're stepping into
absolutely,
like,
yeah.
All right, because I bring that up because when it's your first time, it's not just about the concept. You like, your wheels start going in your brain about all the logistical things.
Absolutely,
the possibilities, the ideas, even like building like what it means to build a business and how to make money. And like, there's a lot of things that you have to think about.
And a lot of roadblocks because it's completely uncertain territory. Are you willing to go there?
So green.
That huge wall, you know what I mean, which we spoke about earlier, you know, that super high wall that we find ourselves standing in between our goals and dreams, you know. But that wall, it's super thin, you know, and you know, all those things are like, fuck, I gotta do this. How am I gonna, you know, once you start, everything is like, I'm doing it. Yeah. Done.
But rarely are people comfortable to start. Especially,
that's all it is.
Yeah. Especially having never done it.
And that's what I want to talk about. This another thing we kind of talked offline. Was this
offline? The Caucasian offline came out.
Was that there's this concept of this wall, right? And it's super tall, big. You don't think there's any way over it or around it, but somehow you have to make it over, but you don't even know where to start. Yeah. And because of that, you don't even do it. You don't even take the chance. When really all you have to do is take 2 steps to the side and walk around that thin ass wall. Yeah. So the decision,
I feel you
know, so the decision to go for it, the action is easy, but the decision is actually the part that you can get caught up months and months and months about and just never do.
It's all in your head too, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's all the argument that you're having with yourself inside, and you're not, and it's stopping you from you know, from going, you know. Yeah. You don't even turn the key on the ignition, you know what I mean? You're just like, how the fuck am I gonna start driving? How am I gonna get there, you know? And you think about how the fuck am I gonna get there for so long that you never get there, you know? And I'm terrified. That is a huge theme in my life, being terrified of, and I think being terrified of things is awesome because they're these, and it's different for everybody. Everybody has nightmares about certain things. I think that's what makes us human, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm terrified of a life unlived, you know? I'm terrified of like looking back one day and being like, damn, there's nothing I can do.
That fear of a life unlived weighs way greater than, oh my God, like what if this isn't going to work?
Yeah.
Because you're not living if you're not making the decisions.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah, man. You know, so I mean, I had that moment of that conversation of like, with myself of like, man, this is going to be a lot. But I also had that conversation with myself saying, yo, like, you can't not put this in your story. You gotta do this, you know. Yeah. This is what Earry is gonna do. This is what Earry would do right now. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, and really, you know, we are inside of ourselves, kind of controlling this vessel, doing exactly, making it do exactly what we want it to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And writing the story exactly the way we want to. If we said, right now, I want to jump on top of the table. I want Earry to jump on top of the table and do a backflip. Right now, if I say right now in my story, I want to give Anusha a high five.
Bang.
That's in our story. Forever. You know what I mean?
That's in our story, but that's as simple. Literally. That's as simple as it is. Wow, done. Bah. In the story. You know, but I mean, you could do that with calling, cold calling that brand that you want to work with. You could do that with walking up to that girl that is intimidating to you. You could do that with, I mean, really anything in our lives, bro. You know what I mean? Action. Absolutely right. So, you know, that me not taking that action, that page being blank in my story is terrifying.
I feel you.
So, more terrifying than actually like doing it and failing.
Absolutely.
And looking at the story and being like, this wasn't exactly how I saw it.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's the reason there's the fear is that you're going to go do this, you're going to go commit and undertake this big obstacle and fail or get rejected or be in a worse place than you currently are. But really, that's usually not how it goes. And even if it does, who gives a fuck?
But you know, I'm a firm believer that we don't lose, we learn.
We do not lose, we learn. You are goddamn right. Yeah, get your phone out. Write that quote, buddy.
We don't lose.
I love you.
We don't lose, we learn.
But it takes time.
We never fail. We don't fail.
Like, bro, you're going through this at 19.
Yeah.
I really, with conviction, went through this at 27.
Yeah.
Right. And look at the lives that we lead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can openly and honestly say that, like, I didn't grasp that concept until it was all taken. Right? I didn't have the internal fortitude to be like, I say it now like, yes, we need to go at it. I didn't have the internal fortitude to be like, you know what? I'm going to make this fucking decision. Let's go. I was scared shitless of how it would look. And what if I'm not as good as everybody sees me as? Or what if
you're staring at that wall,
completely fail? Right? And I was bound by that fear.
Yeah.
Shout out to the horns outside.
Shout out to the horns. Talk to me, baby. No, but like, for real, I was bound by that fear.
Yeah.
And I can openly say it now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dog, look, 19, I was 27, right? But the beauty in that gap also is that look at where we all are in our lives. It just has to happen.
Absolutely. Right. Man, bro, it's not about time, man. Once again, it's about timing. You know? And that timing is
those got quotables on quotables.
It's true.
For real.
You know, and that time is different for all of our stories, man.
Absolutely.
All of our stories. And it's not
because my handwriting isn't the same as yours.
Absolutely.
Right.
Your voice isn't the same. Your laugh isn't the same. Your timing can't be the same. No. You know what I mean? There are gonna be some things that I go through later as well. You know what I mean? And that's the way it's supposed to be. I think that's what makes our community so important. You know, is, you know, if you've gone through something earlier than me, I have you there to advise me through this stage. You know what I mean?
If we're open enough to communicate
absolutely
with one another.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's only a gift that you can give yourself, but that's the
Anusha's done. Hey, this podcast is Earry, we appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, it's been great. Listeners, hey, this has been a wonderful podcast. Hey.
The word of God. He has spoken. For real. And we're out, yo. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the Word of God, which is absolutely beautiful. I completely feel you, though.
Yeah, bro.
I completely feel you.
Yeah.
That is only a gift that you can give yourself.
Nobody can give it to you but you know? But it's a huge gift, you know, and you know, you pay for that gift with vulnerability, you know what I mean? And which is ultimately strength, yo. You know?
That is a gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely,
but we're just so scared to take it there.
Yeah. But you know, I think once again, man, fear, it's a powerful motivator, man, because it it gives you a victory lap.
Especially though when you see it as fearing not fulfilling living.
Yeah.
Because I always had that in my mind. Like, what if I don't? I used to always sell myself on fucking. I'm not scared of failing. I'm just scared of not attaining my highest potential. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, well, yeah, idiot, because you're not even fucking moving forward. Yeah. So what's failing or your highest potential? You're fucked on both.
Right.
Until I wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you had it set in your mind of, it is worse to look back and have a blank page than to look back on your journal and notice that you scrabbled, put a ... and say, I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
But we'll move forward.
Yeah.
And then on the next day, it was a few more paragraphs. And then on the next day, it was a much more cohesive story. And then looking back at it, you see through the progression of time where your story has taken you. And you look back and you smile because you look at that and you say, how much growth. You look at that and you appreciate how much life has been lived and will continue to be lived, but there's a stride now.
Yeah,
the pen
bro.
is stronger. The story is stronger. It means more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and let's go back to, what you were saying about struggle. Your other favorite word. It's...
Did you get that out the notepad, baby? Because you're writing the gems down.
I had it. Your other favorite word being struggle. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, man. Yo, like, so I'm in Atlanta one day with my younger sister. I moved her to Alabama with me to finish school. That's my best friend, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
My younger sister, Nia Alicia Hall. And she, she sees this mural in Little 5 Point, and it said, "Trust your struggle." Right? That a few months later, my sister shows me a tattoo that's on her side. It says, "Trust your struggle."
Wow.
Right? So I kept seeing. I kept seeing that in my head. I kept seeing that mural,
Yeah.
And, I came to this realization, fucking right, trust your struggle, right? And my sister came to that realization as well. I'm sure this is why she wants to remind herself
permanently to remind me, yeah.
And, but I realized that the struggle, it's beautiful. Struggle. Some people say, I'm struggling. And it's all perspective.
Yes.
The way that we see.
Your struggle is different than mine.
Absolutely. But it's whether it's financial or whatever, struggle means you wanting more.
Yes.
Right. And you're having to reach to grab it. But the act of reaching, right? Earlier, I compared it to working out, and how on when you're lifting weights, the heavier weight, you struggle to lift, you struggle to get it off you, but it's about being stronger. Really, that's when you lift heavier weight than you're used to. If you're lifting lighter weight, there's no struggle, and it's actually quite boring, which, that lighter weight can be the job that you hate. That lighter weight can be the job, but that has a security, but that struggle can be this entrepreneurial idea that you're like, this is my legacy. This is what my legacy is going to be built on. That's the struggle, you know what I mean? Or, even just wanting more, a lot of the time. So, I see it as it's evidence that you're going for more, you're getting stronger.
Yeah.
I believe millionaires struggle that want to become billionaires.
Yeah.
Right. That's a beautiful struggle. They're also, I live in downtown LA, which is this huge juxtaposition between the haves and have-nots, where you see, people pissed going to work in the morning.
Yeah.
But then you see a homeless guy smiling, sweeping in front of his tent,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, in that moment, that man's not struggling. He's happy, you know? But that person going to that job is struggling.
Struggling. He woke up, hated himself, his job, his bosses, his peers,
Absolutely.
his life.
Absolutely.
And it's a struggle.
Absolutely. Case of the Mondays, right? And,
I want to stop right there with the case of these fucking Mondays, right? When cats go to work, and I'm the asshole that goes in the elevator, I'm talking to everybody. We already know this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's Monday. I woke up like this. I'm lit anyways, right? And I'm just like, how's everybody doing? And they're like, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Right? And then on a Wednesday, it's like, how we doing? It's hump day. It's almost Friday.
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays, it's almost Friday. I'm like, do y'all literally just look forward to Friday?
Yeah.
And then everything in the week is a fucking wash. We have our weekend, and then we get back to it's almost Friday.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck is life right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that?
Yeah.
Ugh, it's
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, you goddamn right it's Monday. What's good?
It's motherfucking Monday.
It's fucking
Right.
Monday.
Yeah, thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to segue that into your initial encounter with struggle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you made an assertion. You and your professor had a heated debate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you took a stance.
Yeah.
And this was a stance that you took without knowing anything. You just knew that the possibility of it was there.
Right.
Right. So take us through that struggle, because I feel like that is a very formative time in the development of your creative self.
Man, yo, this is such a dope, like, you know, because I haven't really, I don't remember really talking about this, but this is a really dope chapter in my life right now. Like looking back at it, at the time, one of my other best friends, Jonathan Paul Taylor, shout out to you, my brother.
Jonathan Taylor,
Yeah,
hello,
JT,
sir.
Man, JT, my
Hello,
brother.
sir.
You know, I've known JT for 14 years, man.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's my family, man. And
Wow,
that was
that's
my
incredible.
Yeah, that was my first.
JT.
Yeah, that was my first friend in college. Well, actually, my first friend in college was a guy named Brian Collins, but JT was like probably, you know, that was my first, like, you know, best friend. You know, what I mean,
met JT
in school.
randomly walking through Complex Con this past year.
Yeah,
And we had known each other, and it just became
yeah. That's that's like, I you know, I'd like to think I'm one of the motivational forces, and that he's one of the motivational forces of us both being in LA, and being, you know, as close to each other's story as we are now. You know, we spent a few years in different cities, which we still kept the friendship really close. But it's different just being able to hit him up and say, hey, man, I'm outside, bro. Let's go and grab a bite. You know, you know what I mean? Let's smoke some weed on the roof and invite some girls to the pool.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I'm so grateful for that. But, you know, me and JT, we got an apartment together, and we had to pay bills for the first time.
When was this?
Man, I guess I was like 17. Like 17.
Oh, wow.
College.
So this was before that.
So no, actually 18. It was
Got
18.
it.
So it was before that. And
So you and JT were roommates.
yeah, we were roommates, man. So my first crib ever, me and JT.
Oh, that's lit. What up, JT?
My brother, man. I'm telling you, bro, we paid bills together, bro.
That's lit.
For years, you know
That's
what I mean?
lit. Say that again.
Absolutely, straight up. For
Damn
years.
right y'all pay bills together.
Paid bills together,
Shit.
bro, for years, bro. And you know, we I ended up getting a job at Best Buy to pay bills. And I don't know if JT was there first or if I was there first. I don't know, but I remember I got there and I was really good. You know, I remember one of the things that they told us was, we don't pay you on commission. You don't have to sell anything, okay? All we want you to do is, if anyone needs, we just want you to educate people on the reason that they're here. They came into the store for a reason. Ask them, what brought you in today? That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
And then recommend whatever they need. You
Yeah.
know this robust
They're here. Yeah. They're here with a
thing.
purpose.
They're here already, right? All you gotta do is say, "What brought you in today?" "Oh, stereos. So, what type of music do you listen to?" "Okay, you want something a bit more bass heavy. This one has a built-in amp. Blah blah blah. Blah. This does that.
Yep.
What's your budget? Oh, this is your budget. Here, these three will fit right inside of your budget, easy. You know, to where it's not like, hey, let me sell you this radio here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here are the radios.
Right.
This
exactly.
one is the one
Right.
that I'm going to get the most commission on. So I'm pushing you towards
Exactly.
that one. You don't want this one. The one you came in for, let me
Exactly.
just tell you, no, it's
So
not that.
No, you don't want that. Spend the money. Just spend the money.
Absolutely. But in life, right, outside of that, you know, and while there, I was there for maybe 3 months, and then I quit, right? But that 3 months, there were people that were there for years, bro. And in that 3 months, I became Employee of the Year.
Wow.
Right? They put me in the most underperforming section of the store.
Which was what?
Car audio.
Ah.
Which is the most underperforming section, you know. But when I was hired, sales went up by like 40% or something crazy.
So
like
why'd
that.
you quit?
To
jump into this.
To start this entrepreneurial endeavor that stemmed from that debate with my professor.
So this was the crossroads. You
Absolutely, yeah.
You're at Best Buy. You got a little juice behind you, getting the Employee of the year or the month
Of the year.
of the year in 3 months. Wow,
3 months,
that's
right?
That's crazy.
Crazy. And you know, for a kid, I'm 18. I'm like, that's cool, you know. And then I turned 19. I had this conversation with the professor, and then I end up starting this thing, right? But I needed to dedicate time to it, so I stayed working at Best Buy, and you know, while I thought about it, and I remember having a dream, and in my dream, also around this time, my girlfriend at the time, I found out that she was cheating on me.
No way.
Yeah, and I was with her for about 3-4 years.
Oh
man.
my
I
God.
loved this girl, yo. Loved this girl.
God.
And I was devastated, man. And it was the first time I really went through any type of thing like that. You know what I mean? She's my friend. Like, she's like, you know, this is my friend, you know? So, so I spent a lot of time alone after that. I went on this celibacy run for like 9 months. Like I was like, yo, I'm not having sex for 9 months.
Right? That was a conscious decision?
Yeah.
Why? Just to
you know, I wanted to spend more time with me. I wanted to understand self more. Right after we broke up, I went on this, which is what we all do. I went on this like rampage, like bring them. You know what I mean? What a hoe is that? I'm out.
that initial.
I'm free.
That
right?
initial.
I'm an uncaged beast, right?
Yeah.
And right, exactly.
Meanwhile, you're just bearing your feelings.
Right, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like,
hold on. Oh, really? You're gonna break up?
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
No,
I'm gonna put my feelings over here for right
Absolutely.
now. I'll get back to you later.
Inside, I'm in a corner. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
Like, you know, trying to figure out what I'm gonna, how I'm gonna, you know, hide from these feelings, you know, and hoping that, you know, surrounding myself with that type of attention, and you know, those moments hopefully would hide me from those feelings, you know.
Sure.
I could hide behind those feelings, you know.
using those moments, those empty moments with dating girls that I know that I just want to smash, and like, and it's dope to have those moments. We gotta have those moments as people. We gotta have those free moments, but I think the motives have to be there. You
start to understand what they are to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we gotta for sure have those moments, but if you're having those moments to escape something, the motives are wrong.
Yeah.
If you're having those moments of like, yo, I want to be free, I want to spread love, and the intention is like is love, but you don't want the confinement, then that's dope.
And you're gonna figure the balance out.
Yeah.
Because you may find out, like, I kind of been going through this as of late, but it's like you start to begin. I've become very open, especially with women.
Yeah.
Right. My mom actually taught me to explore.
Yeah.
She was like, don't settle down. She's like, she literally said, go taste.
Yeah.
And find out about all different types of women.
Yeah.
So that when you do get to the point of settling down, you'll know what a woman is.
Yeah.
And you'll also know what you want from a woman.
Yeah.
Right. We're also in an age where commitment and these things are very prevalent and they're profound, right? But at the same time, if your intention, and I've become very comfortable being open with my intentions, right, for better or for worse, but they are known.
Oh, it's always a better,
right?
Always.
Yes,
in the end,
yes. But but the beauty is bringing them up. You deal with it. Some females, if I'm like, look, this is who I am right now. Like, I just want to experience you and enjoy this. And if it goes there, it does. I don't set the intention of like, you're the one now.
Yeah.
Right. And for some, it's uncomfortable. For some, that casual nature of it gets bothersome.
Yeah.
And if you're open to deal with it, you deal with that then too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But having that intention and being able to be free with oneself and one's decisions and their motives is very liberating. It keeps the confinement out of the sphere. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's with anything in life, right? We have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Yeah, bro. I mean, that's like, but it's also too like, man, like honesty is dope as fuck too,
Yeah, it is.
When I was single, right now with someone,
Queen.
yeah, man, who I love, Myra Hassan. She's incredible. Yeah. But when I was single, I super transparent about where I was.
Yeah.
And it gave her the opportunity to be the friend I needed, in that stage of my life. It gave her the opportunity. Sometimes when we're not transparent, we take the opportunity away from a girl to be like, cool, because then if she is like,
then it becomes
cool.
a game.
But I mean, because then if she's like, is this where you are, love? The way that she reacts to that is like, yo, I need you in my life.
Yeah.
I need you in my life. That understanding is,
And it's actually you.
Yeah.
It's not who you're presenting yourself to be.
Right.
But that understanding is also freedom.
Yes. Very much so.
And we all want freedom, man. That's why jail is a punishment, man. Confinement is a punishment. You know what I mean?
Lockdown.
Absolutely. But freedom is love, So, when if you're with somebody and you feel free, then what you're really feeling is love as well,
Absolutely.
So but broke up with her, and at the time I'm like, yo, it's lit.
Yeah.
I'm out. The beast is out.
Yeah.
Right?
Hurry's out.
And I love big booties, and I'm in the South.
Yeah.
So
You're at the candy shop.
beast, bro. Like, I mean, beast, but also too, like, I'm super selective, so the quality was always like, I mean, I'm
A preference for the exquisite thing.
oh my god, bro. But I would be like, chilling with like a lawyer or a pre-med student, or like she's in grad school getting her doctorate, or like, but bad,
not like the hood. You know what I mean? It'd be like chicks with as much to lose as me. You know? And but I would enjoy those, but they would be empty moments, you know, and there was a point where I'd be like, what am I hiding from? I'm hiding from myself. I'd be alone. For real. I'd be alone at home, and I'd be alone like after I broke up with my girl at the time, and I'd be alone and I'd be like, I need somebody here. Yeah. I couldn't just be alone. It was weird. I couldn't just like, and I didn't, and part of it was I didn't know myself well enough to know what to do with myself alone. Yeah. What would, like,
it's terrifying.
How do I have fun with myself?
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, so I was like, man, if I took away the distractions that are standing in the way of me and myself, then I feel like I'd come out of it bigger, you know. And what ended up happening was I would still like let girls come over, like to talk, you know. But man, JT, man, shout out to JT. He was like, bro, you really not like, you really turning girls down, B. Like, yeah, like if a chick wants to fuck, I'm like, yo, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not having sex right now, you know? But that would drive girls crazy. The word no is the most valuable word in the dictionary. Absolutely. No is luxury.
No is rare.
No is rarity.
And this is still as like you're getting on your path to starting this like project.
Starting this thing. Yeah, I haven't even started yet.
Yeah, because you're trying to figure out who the fuck you even are.
Bro, this is like, I broke up with my girl like kind of before.
We're in the crossroads of it right now.
Yeah. It was
fucking gorgeous.
It was kind of the perfect storm of me learning and, you know.
Life's timing.
Absolutely, man. Like falling and kind of like, you know, figuring out that I wasn't falling. I just stumbled a little, you know what I mean? And, you know, or you know, or seeing myself as I guess someone worth saving, you know what I mean? So what I ended up doing was spending a lot of time with myself, and I found myself drawing a lot the way that I used to as a kid. And I hadn't drawn in years.
It's like the instant, like, let's go back to basics.
Yes.
What the most comfortable kind of thing that brings it home.
Yes.
Wild.
Yo. Whoever you are, Lena. Yo. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wild.
As a kid, man, you know, I drew a lot. So I started back drawing again, and I was eerily really good. I haven't drawn in years. I hadn't drawn in years at that point.
And you were feeling it.
And I was like really good. You know what I mean? I had proportions really well. I remember I found myself drawing facial expressions.
Were you ever like taught class?
No.
Can you be classically taught drawing?
Yeah, art classes. Yeah.
No, I wasn't. All self-taught. Everything. I've taken one graphic design class in college, but I'm proficient in about seven design programs right now. But I taught myself all of them, and it's how I make my money, you know.
So, but at this point now, you're just drawing pen to paper, pencil paper,
fucking just sketching, bro, and smiling. So I found, and I was down at that time because I would think about.
It's so crazy how like you have to, and you know, we can both attest to this too. You have to like sometimes sit down and figure it out yourself before you can even start to get around that wall.
Only you can find yourself, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's like before you make that decision, or before you take that action, you have to kind of go through that process of like figuring out who the fuck you are.
Yeah. You gotta be in the jungle alone.
Oof.
You know? And but the man that comes out of that jungle,
beast.
beast, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
That's Erzan.
I mean, but that's our tribe, man. All of us are Tarzan. You know what I mean? All of us are Tarzans, man. You know, we gonna come back straight up.
Rauschzan.
Straight up and down. For real. You know, we're all kings of our jungles,
Off
you know?
Top.
But you know,
swinging from tree to tree.
straight up, B. Straight up. Straight up.
My chest was the best.
Straight up, man. Fucking wrestling, you know, wrestling tigers and shit, you know? And
running with gazelles and shit.
Yeah.
My fat ass running with gazelles. Hey, y'all, I'll see y'all later. I got
nah, bro. You know, I'm actually imagining you running with gazelles on a beautiful day, gracefully,
just straight. Like, how does he do it? Just jiggling, but like, fluidity there.
Yeah, and you're smiling. Your eyes are happy. Your tongue is out of the side of your mouth.
It's like, waggling for real.
Yeah, exactly. Just like. Look at
yo, the gazelle tea is coming soon.
Yo, the Nushi Gazelle, though.
Nushi Gazelle, 20 limited teas coming soon.
For real though.
We need to do some like some Adidas gazelles, but have, instead of gazelle, put Nushi.
That'd be lit. That'd be a moment.
Come on, bro. We could do that.
That's a straight movie. You feel me?
But like, you know, that time sketching, man, was like, I smiled. I was really entertaining myself, man. It was crazy because I hadn't really done that.
Wow.
In years. Just like sitting down, no music. Just me and a fucking pencil and a sketchbook, bro. Sketching.
That's incredible.
So I found myself sketching all the time, alone. And I found myself writing all the time. I started writing a lot.
What were you writing?
Poetry.
Oh, okay.
A lot of poetry. And
you're just asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and also trying. What's really interesting about poetry is I wanted to write things that had a rhythm and a rhyme, and trying to fit ideas inside of rhythm, inside of cadence, inside of rhyme. It makes you pull things out that you might not have normally said. That you might not have, in the way that you might not have normally said in conversation, right? It's in a very
a solace of solitude, though.
Yeah, but it's a very creative way to philosophize, you know?
Absolutely.
And it's also it grabs your attention, you know? And what I wanted my goal was to write things that were entertaining and beautiful conversations with myself. I was writing things to my future self. So like I remember I wrote something about my first time being in love to my future self, you know? And you know, it's asking him all these questions like, how is it to be in love? You know, and maybe that younger kid is talking to the kid to the guy now.
That just gave me some chills, bro.
You got straight goosebumps,
straight up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Straight up.
Just that concept just hit me, man. Like, I just was like, woo,
bro.
Yeah, for real,
bro.
For real.
And you know, I'm in love now, man. And you know, it was definitely, you know, that kid was talking to me now. You know, the 31-year-old Earry, I think. You know, 'cause I remember that poem, man, and like the questions and like, you know, the confidence. It was eerily, I guess, accurate. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, wrote a bunch of stuff, and so I was in that spirit of like creativity. I knew I was really good, you know. I would show, man, JT's because that vulnerability, man, you know, that's how you know who you love, man.
He's also like, it's crazy for me to think that it's 14 years back. Right? But seeing who he is now, I could just tell that that's who he was then.
Absolutely.
Right? And the two of y'all, you guys have become greater future selves of yourselves, right? But looking back at that now, it just makes sense in that it's like, yo, his being is just one of wonder.
He's one of the most supportive people I've ever met.
I can see that.
You know,
absolutely, I can see that.
And he, you know, I would read him my poems, man. You know,
that's
so
lit.
Vulnerable, man. You know, and
that's lit.
You know, and he would be like, "Yo,
that's so uncomfortable."
But he would encourage and give me real insight. And he started writing as well.
Oh, that's crazy.
To break the ice and make sure that I felt comfortable, because so he could exchange.
Just take it there for a second. Like, imagine, I can see you doing it, but imagine like you writing a poem which is like super intimate, super personal. It doesn't have to leave that book, and then reciting that poem to not an audience. An audience, the pressure's off, but to one person.
Yes,
like
it's. Think about you're damn right. An audience, the pressure's off because there's many, and you can look at the back of the wall.
Yeah,
in front of one
person. You know, but that's how
that's some shit, dude.
My brother, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my brother. I don't think, you know, I don't think I've ever really had a brother figure in my life that I thought I could be that vulnerable with, man. And, you know, my mom. You know, she told me one day, she's like, "Man, Earry, JT is your family." She's just like, she's the brother. She was like, she's the brother. No,
he's the brother.
He's the brother you chose.
You damn right you did.
You know,
that's a beautiful thing. Man.
Yeah.
Shout out to JT. I don't even know
you.
Yeah,
bro. Yo, you got to meet him, bro.
Yeah,
for real. Man. We love JT. For real. And you know, I remember her telling me. She was telling me, you know, her and JT talk technology all the time.
That's incredible.
Just like he'll call her, you know, and like talk about tech, and like they'll joke, or she'll call him. They're friends, you know what I mean? That's her son, literally, you know. And having like an hour conversations together, you know. And I remember her saying one day, you know, you can't choose your relatives. You don't choose your relatives, but you choose your family.
That's incredible.
And
that's a fucking profound distinction,
man. Yeah. There's a huge difference between your relatives and your family. They're not the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of our, you know, some people's mothers are just their mothers.
You're right.
Not their moms, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people's fathers are just their fathers, but not their dads. You know what I mean? It's yeah, you know? That's real, you know.
Everybody take a moment of silence just to digest that.
So it's so dope, you know. But the choices we have the ability to make, man. We find father figures, you know. If we don't have them growing up, we find brothers and sisters. If we didn't have them growing up, those people are really real. Yeah, you know.
And if you actually seek after it, you'll find it.
Absolutely. You know what? It's kind of a weird, you know, just going on this little tangent right here. Kind of takes courage to even say that. Like if you think about your family versus your relatives, you know, the truth is like, you want to think that your family is the bond is stronger than ever.
Blood is thicker than water.
It's just that deep. But the reality is, it's not like that.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's super okay, and I think that's it's super okay, and I think that's human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's, and we have to allow ourselves the reality of being human, man. You know, we're not robots, so we're not bound by the instructions to love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're kind of just held to our spiritual obligations to love each other, or, you know, and some people don't love you the same way that you love them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I think family is that mutual love, you know? And, you know, sometimes you find that outside of your relatives, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, so JT, man, that was like, yo, I'm super comfortable, you know, with myself, and like, and I know that I'm getting really good in terms of, you know, writing and, you know, so I'm just really confident, you know, gaining my confidence back in myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I felt like, you know, oh girl, you know, my ex cheating on me, I felt like maybe there's something wrong with me, you know? Maybe there's, you know what I mean?
That's like the first thought.
Yeah, you know, like why, you know, because then you compare yourself to who that other person could be, and, you know, so.
The worst.
Yeah, fucking weird, you know? And, but man, my confidence was like, and it was all me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the confidence that I was gaining from taking down this bad chick that everybody wants. It was the confidence of, you know, it was like the confidence of me being alone with myself and like, you know, getting to know myself and like falling in love with E, you know what I mean? Like, you know, myself as a person, man, I you know, and I was gaining a self-love that I didn't know existed or that I didn't know I deserved.
Very
you know?
necessary, yeah.
And so around that time, man, I remember I had a dream. Oh wait, so my birthday comes. Yeah, so my birthday comes. My mom hits me. Around that time, I would send my mom a gift on my birthday to thank her. You know what I mean, and to celebrate her, you know, bringing me into the world.
That's
you know?
great.
So she would call me, and you know, if it was a card or a gift or whatever. And so I also call my mom my queen, and she calls me her prince. So she calls me she calls me on my birthday, and she's like, "Good morning, my prince. How do you feel on your day?" I'm like, "Good morning, my queen. I feel lost. You know, I don't know. I told her I don't know what I'm designed to do. You know, I'm learning myself, but." You know, I don't really know what I'm designed to do. And she's like, Earry, that's a big question, but I'll tell you what helped me a lot answer it in my life was paying attention to the times I lost track of time. You know, close attention, right? So she's like, you know, yo, for real, you know? She's like, pay attention to the times you lose track of time, right? And she's like, you know, specifically, like, if you're in a movie and you forget about time, like, why? You know, is it the writers? Is it the special effects? Is it you know, like, pay attention to why you lost track of time, you know? And I was like, okay, right? So what was I losing track of time in doing? Drawing.
Yeah.
Right? And writing. So I fall asleep one day and I have this crazy dream. True story, fucking crazy. And in the dream, I'm it's kind of a camera following a woman walking through a colorful office, and everybody's having a great time making stuff, you know. Yeah. The furniture's colorful, people are dressed really cool, yeah. You know, and they're making stuff and they're collaborating, but you know, you kind of see that in your peripheral, right? But she's walking through this office, and she walks through these doors, and I'm sitting behind a desk and with toys on my desk, and she just says Urban Anatomy. No, she says welcome to Urban Anatomy, right? Oof. Urban Anatomy, right? So I wake up, I'm like, I love that word, Urban Anatomy. Wow. I have to write that down. So I had this little board right next to me, and I jump up,
write it down, run outside to the living room. I'm super stoked. Yeah. JT's in the living room on the computer, listening to music. I sit down. He looks at me. He's like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, Urban Anatomy, bro.
Urban Anatomy, bro.
Urban Anatomy.
Yo, that is what's up right now, my G.
Oh my.
How do you not see it? It's Urban Anatomy,
Urban
bro.
Anatomy, bro. Right? So, Urban Anatomy. So,
Yo, that laugh, for me, that laugh just like jumped out of me. It's just like, oh shit.
it's Urban Anatomy, bro, right? And he's like, what's Urban Anatomy? This sounds fucking dope. What is it?
It really does, by the way. Like, right when you say it, it's one of those names that's like, I got it.
Yo.
It's
Urban
like
Anatomy.
when Anu said, Mama, we made
Mama,
it.
we made it,
For the
yeah.
first time, you just
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. I love that. Shout out to you guys for this, too. This is really cool. This is a really cool space, you know? But, yeah, so he's like, yo, but what is it? I'm like, man, I just started spitballing because he asked, what is it? And I felt like I'm supposed to know, you know?
It's like stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
You catching up.
Yeah.
So there's this desk. I got toys on
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
She walked in and said, welcome.
But it forms into an amalgamation of my admiration for what my mom does.
Yeah.
And my new discovery in terms of being creative or having that a creative talent.
Your own anatomy.
Perspective, yeah, you know? And I'm just like, I just know that's a dope name. And I'm interested in these things. These things are important to me right now, you know? So I'm like, man, I think it's a marketing and design firm, bro. Right?
It's for big.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
And 19. Fucking 19. Crazy. Wait. No, this was 20. So I think I was 20. Yeah. I might have been 20. Yeah. So, he's like, all right, whatever it is, I'm down. Right? JT helps me start this thing.
Oh, that's incredible.
As, you know, he's the VP of, you know, we got everything legally done. We had, business license, all those, you know, state,
You
federal,
found out what
Set up
all
the-
those
set up the
were. and you
corporate
set it up.
EIN
structure.
numbers, the LLC,
Yeah,
everything's in order, you know. Trademark the logo, like everything's in order, right? And so we do all that stuff, and I end up, but we're like, we need our first client. Who's our first fucking client? You know what I mean?
That's one thing they also teach you in entrepreneurship. Like, it's all about your first customer.
Yeah.
First client, yo. So
And I just want to say the importance of setting up that structure first
Yeah,
before
yeah.
your
Yes.
client. Like
Yeah,
most
yeah.
people,
You're not catching up.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of times. I mean, for what you're doing, it's just like you did it the right way.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, you know, part of
What was
part of
that
was
like
me.
made y'all go through that at first? Like,
My
all right,
mom.
let's set it all up.
My mom asking questions from entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was like, "You should do this." JT had a mentor as well that was a successful entrepreneur as well, and they just told us the stuff to do. And JT, he's very structured. I'm kind of the wild card, you know. So JT was like, we gotta do this, yo.
Yeah.
Let's get it. All right, I got this done. Where you at? You know.
Yeah.
And I would always be like okay. Damn, I gotta.
I feel
I
you,
gotta
bro.
do. You know what I mean? I just want to make stuff. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to. You know, I just want to have the ideas and.
That's
you know,
low key how I feel with Joe.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? We could never do we probably could, but we could never do a podcast without one another because like our strengths and weaknesses like completely just align.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe not even weaknesses, our strengths and just the things that we enjoy doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
They just,
Or
the
are
strengths
able
just
to do.
align. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find me at sound editing an episode.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Yeah.
find me manning this recording shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or doing the videos. Conceptually we may team up, but like you're not gonna find me editing them.
Yeah.
And he doing it.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show like just balance in teams.
Man,
And
bro.
also knowing like like knowing your strengths.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, but also putting actually, yeah, bro, like knowing your strength, hands down for sure, self, but also being encouraged to play the part you were made to play.
Yeah.
To play the position that you were made
Straight
for.
up.
Beautifully
So
said,
you can do it happily, really, like
Yeah.
if we need a numbers guy and you're not a numbers guy, I'm gonna find a guy
That's
loses
a numbers
track
guy.
loses track of time on numbers.
Oh.
It's like I wanna love numbers, you
Yeah.
know? And with me, I found that out really early. Me and JT found out really early. We're both really prideful cats,
Yeah.
And, we can bump heads. I mean, we don't ever now, because, our relationship's so mature,
Yes.
So we know it's like, if that's what you need,
Yeah.
about it. But back then, we were, we were really prideful,
Yeah.
kids,
You're young.
Yeah, bro. And when you're young in that adolescence, I mean, I think a lot of maturity is a choice as well.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of adults even that I've
Every
encountered.
relationship, there's a sacrifice.
Yeah, but
And
like
it's man and woman, man and men, just friends in general. Like we have to be open enough to hear one another. We may not be able to. We may not agree, but as long as we're transparent,
Yeah.
not agreeing is okay. But
Yeah.
but we tend to, especially when we're younger,
Yeah.
not feel as free, and we build up just tension.
Yeah.
but it's also too, bro. We associate so much negativity with being wrong.
I feel you.
So
You're
much.
so fucking right,
And
though.
that's such an ego thing. That's such a self-confidence thing.
Yeah.
That's
That's interesting. It's like,
and that gets in the way
It does.
a lot.
yeah, you have to let that wall down. You
It's crazy though. Because for me, I'm okay with being wrong now, right? I'd actually like to be, because if you are, you learn something.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like before, there's such a stigma with being wrong.
Being wrong.
I
Yeah.
think you need that kind of element if you're starting a business because there's so many learning curves, and you often just learn by mistakes most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing that, then it's going to be really challenging to move forward because you're not really going to recognize the things that can make you move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, bro, you know for sure, and I think we all know business owners that have a problem being wrong, and they're stubborn.
Yes.
And they drive their businesses into the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of
Just
the
to
time.
be right.
Just to be right. You
Yeah.
know,
Which
and
is ultimately fucking wrong.
you know what I mean. But it's a lesson that JT taught me for sure, man.
Word.
You know,
That's an incredible
as a
lesson.
brother, yeah. He, there was a time I remember we had an argument, and not an argument, but a debate. You know,
Yeah.
and eventually he was like, "Okay, bro, you're right. I'm wrong. Now what?" And it
That's so disarming too, though.
it immediately disarmed me. And it made me
It's
feel
like-
so, And it made me being right feel so dirty
It's
and like
small.
Absolutely. It made me being right feel so small.
Because you're just like, oh,
Exactly.
where did the elephant in the room go? Because I
Yeah.
thought this shit was looming.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I am?
So small. Exactly, bro. And it was, that made me become a bit more mature in terms of, just being a person too, man. I listen a lot better now.
You have to go through that, though.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is, right or wrong, unless you experience it.
Yeah.
That's that beauty of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, nothing that lasts the test of time goes just linearly and unfettered.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like we have this perception of like chaos and this and that and misunderstanding and all of these things, and we look at them so negatively. But what if we not encourage them, but what if we embrace them? Right? Then we know what that is, and a lot of these things are very easy to deal with when we get to a point where we're able to deal with it. Right?
Yeah.
Like the course of your life in this moment, even still, like this is, and I love that we're really just like we're drinking from the juice that we're squeezing from this moment, because this is what really is allowing the flow to begin. Right? Is that, you know, you're an athlete. You're also starting to see that you're not really connecting with these guys, but like the way the relationship happens is that you were trying to figure out who in the world you were connecting to, and had a breakup allow you to, instead of connecting with the world, to bring it in and connect with yourself. And you found a moment as you're getting older, you're in your 20s, you're going to leave college. You know at this point, basketball you're not going pro, you don't want to do that. You're also in a point where you're searching for yourself, and you're also searching for, you chose business and communication. You're searching for direction and the design, right? Where is this leading to? And you get to moments where you're finding yourself, and you're also able to realize, wow, my queen, my mother, you know, is telling me these things of pay attention to where you lose track of time. And the mind of a dreamer and a designer is there, right? The creative is there. And you meet a person, like it's like on some fucking Steve Jobs and Wozniak type deal, right? The ideas, and then also the one that executes. And then they're two young like minds, but you guys are building your forms. Like to this day, that is still who you are. It's just way more refined, right? But that's the beginning of your application of self, right? And a lot of people don't get that until later and going through the iterations. But for you, the dream led to, like, your dream started your reality, right? Instead of your reality dictating your dream. Literally. That's a crazy inversion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that both of y'all were on a pursuit, and there was a camaraderie there to pursue.
Yeah.
Right? Even with the different variations of skill sets, naturally they'll bump heads, because creatives and creativity and structure don't usually align. Yeah. Because some of the boldest and most unique forms of creativity are in the chaos of one's mind. You know, it's not like, okay, let me go. I'm actually going to go to File Cabinet BC where I realize this connects. Right. Yeah. It's not going to happen that way. Yeah. Because life isn't like that. Right. How was that process for you guys? Like, what became of that, and what did that lead to?
Man, you know, we ended up, I don't know how the fuck we met this guy. Oh, yeah. So we were like, yo, let's throw a party. Fuck it. That'll solve all the problems.
Yeah.
Start a party, you know, name it Urban Anatomy, you know, thrown by Urban Anatomy. It's an 80s party. We'll launch it like that, and we'll rent out a space that someone owns that could be a client of ours, and we'll pack it out, and it'll be lit, right?
Yeah.
So we throw this party, bro. It's lit, yo. I mean, so planning it was like, yo, we found this doctor. This doctor owned the space called the Mission House that he let people rent out. He threw parties there once in a while, but it was like the upper echelon. I'm in Montgomery, Alabama at the time, right? Deep South. This black doctor, Dr. Red, bought this space. It's like black excellence is dope, you know, because you don't really see that a lot in, you know, kind of underfunded and like, you know, that community, rural South, is like black people aren't. They're beautiful, you know, but it's
the system's different out there.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely different, and it's a little bit behind. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, when you see someone who kind of breaks that mold, it's like, wow, wait,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You exist. All right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's possibility outside of
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a reality. It's
Yeah.
not just a dream. That's a reality. So, this guy, Dr. Red, we're like, all right, bet we're going to rent a spot out. Let's figure it out. Boom. Met him through a friend. He let us do it. Man, it's so dope, man. He let us rent the whole spot. It was this huge house, huge.
Yeah.
He let us rent the whole spot for I think it was like $500.
Oh my God.
The whole spot.
Word.
Right? And I'm like, it's still money to a college kid.
Yeah.
But now looking back, it's like he could have had us. He could have put us at 2 G's. For
Yeah.
that
Oh,
day.
easy, yeah.
We sold tickets to get in. He knew that. It was really just a gift to the youth. You know what I mean? Because we were like college kids, but he saw something in us. You know? So we this one kid who kind of saw us as like the cool guys on campus, that worked with us at Best Buy. He was into graphic design. We brought him in. Yo, can you do the flyer? He made our faces look. He put our faces on Kid and Play.
That's nice.
On Kid and Play.
on the house party.
On the house party.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And did that. So we were like kind of, I guess, the two hosts of this party, and like the DJ's name was in the background or whatever. And we threw this thing, told everybody about it, sold tickets hand to hand.
Yeah.
Like, spread the word. We're throwing a party here. Boom.
Yeah.
Right? Hand to hand tickets. I think it was like $20 a ticket, something like that. 10 from maybe it was like $15-$20 a ticket.
Yeah.
But sold out tickets.
Believe that.
Right? And everybody pulled up. It was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably had around like 300 people.
Wow.
Come through.
Urban Anatomy set the stage on them.
Urban Anatomy was lit, bro. So, I mean, we probably made like 4 G's, something like that. Right? For some college kids, that's 4 G's in a night.
That's $4 million.
Right. Cash. Yeah. 4 milli.
No, you're good.
It's lit.
Yeah.
We're straight up and down.
Yeah.
4 milli. He was making it rain. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We bought new whips. We bought new cribs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to just like boss up on some food,
bro.
Yeah,
bro. 4 G's, bro. We were like, well, I mean, let me correct myself. I was like, yo, turn up, it's lit, And JT, man, he was like, we gotta put it in the account.
Yeah,
we're gonna pay ourselves, but we gotta put it in the account.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And lit though.
I respect you, but wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
What do you mean we have to invest in the business?
Exactly.
Doesn't that mean invest in ourselves?
Exactly. We are the business.
We
right?
are the business.
Right.
So, how's anyone going to take us serious if I don't have new Jordans or new Rollie?
Exactly. So we throw this party. Everybody, like, me and JT, we're like, everybody's in baggy stuff. People kind of would like jokingly say, "You wearing Pharrell shirts?" Before Pharrell shirt was like wearing a tight shirt. Motherfuckers would make fun of motherfuckers wearing a Pharrell shirt. You say that now, it's like you're fresh if you're dressed like Pharrell.
Especially in Montgomery, Alabama.
Especially, bro.
They probably still have not adopted to
Absolutely.
like just the
Absolutely.
aliens out there.
Super aliens, bro.
You know what I'm
But we felt
it's
like
Pharrell from fucking like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Literally.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Like way ahead of our time, and especially in that city. But we knew that, but we felt in any other city we're kings. In New York, we're kings. In LA, we're kings. But in Alabama, people are like, they're
weirdos. Bang.
Yeah. Right? Right?
I feel you.
So, you know, but in LA, but in like bigger cities, we'd be supernatural and
there you
uncanny.
go.
You know what
there
I mean?
You go.
So back then, man, you know, back then it was like we didn't know that. We you know, so when all these people like hit us up that we didn't even know to get tickets, like, you know, the baddest bitch in the school is like, yo, I need 5 tickets for me and my girls. Like, yo, no, there's this one girl named Jaquana Bird. We called her Tay Bird.
Tay Bird.
And she was the baddest chick in the fucking school. Like, she walked down the street and motherfuckers were like, just stop, bro.
Does this exist?
Like, bad, bro. Like, small waist, fat, like, crazy.
I feel you.
Everyone's dream. Brown skin, long hair, these almond-shaped eyes, happy eyes, these full lips, like perky, round, big titties, small, out of nowhere, small waist, wide hips, fat, plump ass. Beautiful thighs, beautiful feet, incredible smile, beautiful voice. Tay was bad as fuck, bro. And like she was dating, or had just broken up with the quarterback of the football team. She's a cheerleading captain, absolutely.
That's how it happens. That was by design.
There was a billboard of Tay on campus. Tay, like heading into campus, there's a billboard, an ASU billboard, ASU Hornets. Tay is just there smiling, just her smiling, representing this is the school. Wow. This is how beautiful the school is.
There like this, my man, she still goes here. Meet Tay.
Bro, that's how bad Tay is, right? And what am I then? I'm a sophomore. No, I was 19. So I'm a sophomore, you know, and Tay is like a senior. Yeah. Bad, bro. And her friends were the baddest bitches on campus as well. One of her friends,
it'd be disrespectful to run otherwise.
Bro. Have you guys ever heard of Van Hunt?
What?
Van Hunt.
No.
He's an absolutely incredible composer. He's the music director for Love Jones.
Okay.
But he's co-wrote and produced. He's Grammy nominated. Like, incredible. Get into Van Hunt if you can.
Hunt. Done.
But so Lavina, her name is Lavina Hunt, right? Van Hunt's younger sister. Van Hunt's a fucking rock star. He's the coolest motherfucker ever. Wow. So his younger sister, I didn't know that. My boy was like, yo, her brother's fucking incredible. I started listening to his music because his sister was so bad. I'm like, I gotta understand this. And became one of his biggest fans, you know?
That's amazing.
But Lavina, bad, bro. In 2000, this is 2005. Lavina, when I met Lavina, she came to a basketball game. Walked by, everyone's looking, right? Walked by. Our basketball games like fashion shows and shit.
I feel you.
Walked by. She's wearing a leather pant, high-waisted pants.
Stop.
Heels, like a cut off, like Van Halen too. Bro, we're Bro, she's 21 maybe.
Yeah.
But just like she looks like bro,
Bad.
if a chick walked down the street like that right now, you're like, who the fuck is Crazy Body? Bad, you know. Before like retro shit was in, she's like
they had it,
bro. So they're coming, right? The night of the party, we're like, yo, we're not nervous, we're excited because we're like, yo, it's about to be crazy, right? We buy gold chains. We buy 80s stuff.
Business expenses. That one JT could write off on the books.
But you know, they're faux. They're like the fake
for sure.
ones. You know what I mean? And we have multiple of them on.
Y'all didn't go see Jacob. We got
No. We got the $30 joints.
Yeah.
And the retro glasses and got the haircut and like 80s sweatshirts and Coogee and man, we had our friend who had an 85 Benz parked right outside playing stuff as you walk
lit.
in.
Y'all set up that was the Urban Anatomy,
bro. Urban Anatomy was lit, bro. Fucking had a graffiti artist, my boy Hobo. Shouts out to Hobo in Atlanta, tagging a wall live.
Oh, that's lit.
In the back in the foyer of the venue, we had the guy, the DJ playing all 80s stuff. You had to but also like recent stuff, you could only get in if you were wearing 80s attire. And everybody was there. The Dr. Red was there everybody was there. He brought his whole squad. It was beautiful. Everybody was in 80s stuff. Like 300 people, bro. And
this set the tone out the gate.
It's the party of the year.
Yeah, it just sparked it.
Everybody that was there was like,
yeah.
We had a line outside of people that couldn't get in, that couldn't get tickets, but they still came because they were like, it's just lit.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about how crazy it is. This is before Snapchat or like, but people are texting
Word
like
of mouth
this party is crazy.
Yeah.
People are texting, bro. And people are pulling up like, yo, I gotta get, you know? So, man, it's lit. I remember the whole house, we told the DJ, we got on the mic, thanked everybody for coming, and we played like we always do at this time. I got to shine. Love in the sky. Right?
Straight up.
Bro, everybody goes crazy. The whole house is like celebrating, bro. I have a picture on my Facebook of that moment of me, JT, and our boy Marcus just like yelling at the camera.
Yes.
Yelling, jumping up and down, all of us in these gold chains, mid-jump.
Yes.
During that moment of when he dropped the shit,
Oh,
everybody
wow.
went nuts,
That's
bro.
amazing.
Where is this picture, bro?
It's on Facebook. I'll
I'll
text
find
it to
it.
you. I'm gonna text it to you guys.
Let's
I'm gonna
go.
text you guys.
It's lit.
Sure. It's incredible. And lit, right?
Yeah.
You know, to kind of sprinkle more on it, me and JT find ourselves talking to Tay and Lavina. Tay, the baddest chick in the fucking
universe at that time.
City, that side
the
of
world,
the,
the
country.
world. Y'all were there, the world at that time.
Bad, bro. So, and then Lavina, the bad rock star.
Yeah.
You know, but they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're the nicest girls ever.
Yeah.
Like, so chill, so laid back. We're joking. We're talking about other girls' booties. We're talking about all types of stuff that we couldn't imagine. We're like, me and JT are looking at each other like, yo, is this happening? This is the best night ever, yo.
We're like, yo,
wait, is this, where the fuck y'all straight up? So we're talking to them, bro, and
I love that touching them like, yo,
you guys real. Bro, we exchanged numbers with them. So that's happening, right? And we're like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Crazy.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna go through this part, but later on, me and Tay dated.
That's lit.
And it was incredible.
I feel you.
It
was only fitting.
And she is incredible, and she's still an incredible friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that just goes to show you, like things you feel like inaccessible. That's all in your head.
Yes.
You know, and that's really you. That's really you convincing your higher self that you're not capable of being the person.
If you think about it, just the concept of the possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are
because they are. Because you set what the possible is.
Absolutely. But it's also, you know, sometimes we see people as possibilities.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we think, you know, we coach ourselves out of the opportunity to really just be there as a person with a person, you know. And, you know, Tay, when we finally, you know, met and, you know, got together, she saw me as just the most beautiful guy.
Yeah.
You know, like the most beautiful, like she felt the same way about me as I felt about her.
And you didn't have a billboard.
And I didn't have a billboard. But she said.
Can you imagine this?
Yeah, I know the Earry Hall billboard. Straight up.
Welcome to Montgomery.
Yeah, straight up, yo. Straight up.
Urban Anatomy.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I wish, you know. I wish, but in ways, I'm
absolutely
for sure.
Yeah.
But man, you know, that was really cool because she saw me as beautiful as well.
Yeah.
And it's in a way that I should see myself already, you know.
But you were.
Yeah.
You were beginning
but, you know, yeah, absolutely I was beginning
because had you not been, that party wouldn't have happened.
Yo, it was lit. It was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
So after that party, words spread throughout Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
And people shared the flyer on Facebook and all that jazz. We ended up running into this guy named Byron Berry. And this white guy from Birmingham, Alabama, he had just gotten some property, just bought some property. He wants to become a developer. Him and his dad started a developer, a development firm, I guess.
Yeah.
And no, they started a contracting firm, right?
Okay.
And they built this called Phoenix Realty, and they refurbished these factory buildings into lofts. Incredible fucking lofts, like 1,500 square feet, 2,000 square feet.
Oh, that's lit.
You know, they had digital thermostats, which is kind of crazy
at that time.
Too. Sure, yeah.
To be able to like touchscreen anything in your
Boop,
crib.
boop, boop. Yeah.
You had touchscreen,
like
fucking
ultra modern.
You're incredible. They had like, you know, places, properties where, units where they wrapped a wall in copper, like this beautiful copper wall, like
beautiful
exposed brick, hardwood floor.
That's insane.
Incredible, bro. Like they spent time and attention on these things, and heated floors in your bathroom, lit, crazy, $1,000 a month. You're serious, right?
Like what?
$1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month, bro. I mean, but you know, it's like, you know.
Yeah, but that's still, it's just like that 500 was attainable. That's attainable. Y'all are like,
oh, bro, it's super attainable, $1,000 a month. So what ended up happening was we talked to him, and he heard about our party at Dr. Red's, and he was like, I actually got invited to this, man. I wanted to come, you know. And we sat down, and I came with an idea. He's like, I can't get these properties sold. They're too, I think they're too ahead of their time, you know, and it's hard to find, you know, non-conservative people that are into this type of stuff. And I was like, I came into the property, and I was like, bro, this stuff is beautiful, bro. You just there's a market that just doesn't know you exist.
Yeah.
And I think it's a younger demographic than you're thinking. I think you made these for younger people. And I felt that he made them for grad school, recent graduates, right? That just got their first job, if they want something fly, you know?
Yeah.
at the time, Mercedes and Kia opened a plant super close. So, in Montgomery was kind of the most urban city in that area. So there's an influx of people from everywhere moving into Montgomery.
Oh wow!
A lot of students from our school got hired into those plants.
Yeah.
I connected with some of those students. Tay was one of those students.
Wow.
As well. She was a brilliant engineer.
That's insane.
Of course she was.
That's fucking
Of
like
course she was.
bad. That's bad as fuck.
So she was at the Kia plant.
Wow.
And she
that's insane.
Yeah. So and her perspective was like, yo, people could pay a G to get in for sure. So I connected with a few administrators from our school to get the list of graduates that got into these positions.
Wow. Nice.
Because Alabama State had programs in place that placed graduates into those plants immediately, you know? And because that was like, what? Hell yeah, done. My first job with Kia or Mercedes is lit, done.
Yeah.
So they gave me access to that list. We threw parties at his loft, creating different experiences in each loft. So threw parties at his building, creating different experiences in each loft, and invited people to party.
Yeah.
Right? Educating them on the spaces. In the marketing, in on-premise marketing. But initially it was just, yo, we want you to have the best night of your life.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know the places that we have those moments. We remember we remember where we were when we heard our favorite song for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so places, they own a lot of intellectual real estate in our minds, you know. So and the moments that we have in those places ties to those places. So
Absolutely.
I just wanted people to have a great fucking time because they remember the space. The space is his building was vacant for like, I want to say like a year.
Okay.
After we started collaborating, he sold his first building. The occupancy was sold out in 2 weeks.
Wow.
After we started working with him, and then he started buying more properties and buying more buildings. We made that building cool.
That's insane.
We marketed that building to be fucking cool.
Yeah.
And we'd get commission on those sales.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
$50K that year.
So you did it.
Did it.
You did the
Insane.
50K.
I mean, with Byron, being able to do it. You know
That's
what I mean?
incredible.
Which is kind of crazy. And it's nothing in comparison to the amount that he made.
No.
No, of course. Yeah.
But
It pales to that, but y'all did it. Yeah.
20.
Yeah. Where did that start leading you?
So
Like that had to set it off though, because it's like you're incorporating design, experience,
Yeah.
sonics. You know what I'm saying? Marketing. You're building in interior experiences, exterior experiences, right? Bringing communities together.
Yeah.
And you're a creative.
Yeah.
Right. And it's crazy how full circle these things come, because I feel like right now you're back at your experiential creative zone.
Yeah, I am.
While also having the freedom to have been doing what you've been doing time after time after time.
Yeah.
Take me through when you graduated college. Take me through the design path that you went on.
Man, so we would do these parties and the graphic designers would take a long time to get stuff done. So I locked myself in a room one summer and taught myself Photoshop and Illustrator.
Nice.
Got really good. Took a class. The professor who became a design mentor of mine, Dr. Weber, she felt that I was way too advanced for the class, the classes that they offer
Yeah.
there, and she felt that I should continue teaching myself.
Wow.
So I got into, she felt that was the best way for me to learn, which is so cool, because that's real. That's super real. You know? Sometimes we are our best teachers. It depends on your learning style, really.
Exactly.
You know? So so I ended up leaving. I ended up leaving school. Well, graduating, finishing school. I was designing a lot of our stuff. One of my really good friends, Nia Randall, she had an uncle. Well, she has an uncle who owns a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, which it was called Urban Spectrum, and he invited. I moved out to New York. We basically, Nia introduced me to him. He invited me to work with him on a rebrand of Urban Spectrum, which is huge for a kid. You know, the money was decent, but the opportunity was crazy, you know, and to be in New York. And I ended up moving there and, you know, trying to figure out my place, really, you know, because
especially in that city, bro.
Yeah.
You're very small again.
Absolutely. And I felt like I was learning that I was becoming a designer kind of by choice. I saw the work that we were doing, and I was doing most of the work because the graphic designers were taking too much time. Yeah. So I had this robust portfolio of stuff that I could share, which pulled me into that, you know, field. And
you were ready.
And did you enjoy designing too?
Loved it, y'all.
So
I still lose track of time.
So that was still feeding that side too.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, yeah, man. I mean, I lose track of time making stuff and experimenting with stuff, and but then man, they ended up letting me, you know, work for them and work with them, and when I got there, I was so fucking excited, you know? And actually, when I first got there, two things happened that kind of sums up what New York became to me. I was on the train on my way to a meeting, and so I get there, and it's fucking hard at first, yo. It's the struggle.
Yeah.
Perfect.
New York.
Absolutely.
Where'd you live?
The Bronx. When I first moved there, I moved to the Bronx, and a friend of a friend had an apartment that her mom gave her, and she wanted a roommate. I was down, but she was like, I don't know, she was kind of kind of a possessive person, kind of, and it made me
the roommate.
Yeah, like
possessive in a way of like needing to be included in everything.
Yeah. What? No, you know what? Actually, no, she was actually cool. Actually, man, you know, she was actually cool. But I remember feeling wrong if I came in too late, and it was because of that, like, you know, this is my space. You're just renting it thing. But it was really, we're both young. Yeah, she was 23 as well. You know what I mean? And she just wanted the convenience of feeling, I guess,
it's her home.
Considered. Yeah.
Sure.
But so I'm there and I'm like, fuck, I gotta be at the crib at a certain time. What the fuck? Fuck this.
Yeah.
Confinement. Fuck this. You know what I mean?
Immediately.
Absolutely. You know? So that was short. But, you know, so figuring out, you know, where I want to live, what neighborhood, you know, money and expenses, and I'm on my own, you know. And, you know, I remember on my way, but I was still so fucking happy.
Yeah.
It was just embedded in me. Yeah. It was just, it's still embedded in me. No matter what, it's a choice.
Yes.
Happiness is a choice. It's not a feeling, you know. Yeah. And it's a choice that we constantly make, or we constantly don't, or we consistently don't make.
True
you know?
story.
And, you know, sometimes people think happiness chooses them, but it doesn't. You know, we choose happiness, really. So what ended up happening was I realized that in the midst of that, I was still so fucking happy. But I was new in the city, and I was still a little shy, kind of. So I'm on a train, and I'm on my way to this meeting, and early, and it's kind of full in the beginning when I get on, and then it starts to thin out.
Yeah.
My stop and this other woman's stop apparently is at the end, and as everyone clears out, I see how beautiful she is. Oh my God, I remember how she looks.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Like
it's ingrained in you.
Freckles, green eyes, like caramel toned skin, big curly wavy hair, beautiful. Like,
That sounds like a waitress I met the first time I went to New York. It was like a mermaid.
It might have been the same girl.
I swear to God.
Maybe.
Like,
Shout out to whoever she. Yeah. Shout out to the mermaid.
But that same feeling and description and just like
incredible, bro.
Like you brought her back. Like I was with David, Dan, and John, and we went to this cafe, and there was this waitress there, and she literally was just. I did not want to stop looking at her.
Yeah,
that's I was ordering. I knew what I wanted to eat, and I was just looking straight at her. I was like, "Yeah, I just want that, man."
Yeah.
Don't mind me because take their order too, but I'm here,
bro. I was in awe like that, but we were the only two on the whole thing.
That's wild.
So I didn't have the comfort of like.
Yeah.
I was just.
I feel you though.
Like, it was like yeah.
Yeah. So, you gotta lock in,
right? You know, but I didn't lock in. I was like kind of shy with it. I was like,
your periphery was locked the fuck in.
Yeah. And there were moments when I noticed her when everybody was on the train, but. You know, and I had that distraction. Like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know? But didn't say anything. Whole train ride, just looking at each other, flirting. You know, and it's obvious, but we're the only two on the train. I'm not saying anything. What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's obvious. I'm like, we're looking and smiling.
You're like giving the nod every now and then.
And looking back down,
feeling like an idiot. You're like, God. Fuck, say some shit.
Hurry, say something, bro. Say something.
Walk around
Cough.
the wall.
The doors open up. She stands up. She proceeds to step off of the train. I follow her. My eyes follow her as she leaves. The door closes. I stare at her. She stares at me. As the train leaves, she blows me a kiss.
Wow.
I'm like,
that's yeah, wild.
My heart is like, bro, bad, beautiful, gorgeous, and I look for her for 5 years.
I feel you.
When I get on the train, a small part of me in New York hopes that she's there.
Wow.
A small part of me hopes that I'll see her again, or that I'll notice her and I'll say, 5 years ago,
yeah,
I saw you on a train.
Yeah.
And I regretted not saying something ever since.
What do you think? Do you think that moment kind of shaped?
Hell yes.
You feel me?
Because I robbed myself of the opportunity for her to even say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I would have known,
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't ask, the answer's always no.
No.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how just like that concept exists. We all get it, but yet it's hard to apply that concept.
Now, bro, it's harder for me to not ask.
I respect that.
It's way harder.
Well, you know what that like regret feels like.
Oh my God.
So it's like once you know, you're like, okay, I can't go back there.
I'll never let that happen to me.
Can't feel that again.
That shaped my entire, that spirit of like, I'll never let that happen again, was in me meeting somebody that could give me the opportunity, could help me get the opportunity in my dreams. Me meeting, another just gorgeous goddess, you know, one day, I remember I had like a short conversation with Pharrell at this thing that a woman that I was dating invited me to, and, me striking up a conversation in the midst of all of that was like something I wanted to do, you know what I mean? And I would have regretted not saying anything.
Of course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a short convo, but it was still like, yo, I would have regretted not saying nothing. Or, you know, or damn, imagine if I wouldn't have said anything. And as a kid, I'm like, you know, at the time, I'm probably, 24, you know? I'm like, fuck, I gotta make sure this is in my story. You know, I gotta be able to tell my friends this one
you
day,
can't leave that page blank.
Yeah, so, you know, me going at opportunities and, you know, going for things, reaching for things was in the spirit of, yo, that opportunity, me going for that, me making that call, me sending that email, me taking that risk is that girl on the train. You know? Constantly.
I see her forever.
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 I still see her, bro. Still, you know? But I see her in different things.
What a beautiful reminder.
Though. Yeah. Gorgeous reminder. In different things, I see her still, you know what I mean? In opportunities I want and, you know, those things, I still see her, you know? And
so what was New York like then in terms of your path? Like where did you, what was that experience like?
New York was lit, yo.
Like once you turned it up, like you got there, you transitioned in, you figured it out, and then
I went from 0 to 100, bro.
Take us through
with opportunities, with, you know, and I was still kind of struggling in ways for sure, you know.
What's that balance, like that juggle?
You know, it was really beautiful because it fucking made me, you know, there was a point where I didn't have a lot of money, and it was, and I had never at that time, until that time, felt like my value was questioned, because I've always had whatever I needed, you know. My mom wasn't rich or anything, but she made us, she placed us in a place where we didn't have to worry where we were gonna sleep or eat, or, you know, and that was a luxury that I knew was rare, you know, or that wasn't guaranteed, you know, for either of us, you know, for us, you know. And so, but, you know, I realized, man, there was a point where, like, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, and I questioned my value, and which is beautiful. I love that happened, because what ended up happening was it made me rebelliously reaffirm my value as a person, right? The conversations that I would have with people, it was about value. It wasn't about costs. And I had friends who were millionaires, and, you know, but I still need to make sure that I knew I was valuable, you know, still.
What was the application of that, like, value?
Man, conversation, the way I dressed, you know, was like, I felt like I was the freshest when I had the least amount of money.
I feel you.
Freshest, because it was so considerate. It was so like,
it was so put together.
I want you to feel this way when you meet me. I want you to feel value. I want you to feel value when you meet me. You know what I mean? And because the way that we dress, it is an intellectual conversation before we ever utter a word to the world, really.
Absolutely. It's a first impression.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, if we're really honest with ourselves, if we know ourselves well enough, when we wake up in the morning, we understand how we feel, and then we dress that way. You know, when some people are down, they wear darker colors. Some people are really happy, they wear brighter colors. You know, for me, you know, today, you know, for example, I'm wearing all gray. I had a weird conversation with my girlfriend earlier while I was getting dressed, and it kind of made me, it didn't put me in a place of like brightness. It put me in kind of a place of like, I'm chill.
Yeah.
You know? But like, that's a conversation, really. Yeah. The way I dressed was like value. There's
it's why I woke
here.
Up in the Bahamas.
Exactly.
Today.
You're talking to a legend. You know what I mean?
Straight
I wanted
up.
people to see that, to feel privileged when they spoke to me, and I wanted to, you know, embark that privilege on their privilege on me as well, and really reciprocating and listening and like really like listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I was gonna say, were you creating for work? Were you creating a business, or what were you doing for work, just to tie in your value? Yeah.
So with work, I was still designing stuff for Urban Spectrum. I had connected with Q to open up this retail space, and basically Q, she got the space with her brother. Her brother ended up being killed.
Wow.
And she was left to run the space. We met through a friend. Yeah. Her brother was like a drug lord in Jersey, but Brad, like, Bentley, Ferrari, all of that, you know what I mean? And but she was his little sister.
Yeah.
And she always wanted to open up a store, so he was like, done. Done. I'm not only gonna get you a store, I'm gonna get you a store in the most prevalent section of New York. Nolita, which is Versace's down the street. Prada's down the street. And then their store is like on that stage. So pure that type of cash.
Off association, it's lit.
Lit. That neighborhood type of traffic, it's people with bread. It's across the street from the new museum. Huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I meet her and she's like, man, I don't know how to do it alone. And we become really good friends, and I'm like, let's do it, whatever you need, So whatever bread I had, I put up, whatever connections I had,
called upon,
I brought to the table, and we did this thing. She's like, man, I want to do it for 3 months because that's how we structured the lease, and I can't do it alone. We already put the bread up, it's here. Let's do it, And we did it, and she wanted it to be for 3 months. I was down, ended up doing really well. Man. We got really well known for our store displays, the stories that we tell that would bring people in, and our music selection. We threw monthly parties and collaborated with local artists.
Were you drawing on all your creative experiences and creating this brand? How
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, branding, rebranding. We did the space ourselves with Michael, who told me what my name meant. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. They they brought a really cool opportunity for me to be creative to the table and to really invest in something that I believed in too, So, man, we did that, and I ended up kind of being known as kind of a style influencer.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask, like, who do you become at that point? Because it's like, are you a designer? Are you a graphic designer? Are you an experiential, like, curator?
I was all of it.
Yeah. So
you damn right you were.
Yeah. I was all of it at the time, bro. It's crazy, and but I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn a lot more about like companies that were doing it well, and I'm in New York, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a gig at a brand that
But you're also establishing
admire.
your worth.
Exactly.
Directly and indirectly.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to like covertly learn and be paid to learn.
Yeah.
So I started working for Top Man.
Wow.
They launched in New York, and I worked for them in PR. And but I wanted to be in retail.
Really?
So but I was qualified for PR, so she recommended PR, while I was interviewing. I'm like, okay, cool. I got to PR. I was like, no, I want to be in retail because I wanted to learn,
Yeah.
People in retail are like, we don't want to fucking be in retail.
Yeah.
We want to be in where you,
Yeah.
Right.
And so, when they told the team that this guy from corporate is coming to work with you guys,
They were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Why?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Weirdo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would take the interactions. Also, man, met a lot of dope people because at that time, top man, top shop, it was like it in New York. You know, that was their first store.
Fresh.
They opened that year there.
Yeah.
So you had, I mean, everybody was at the time like anybody would be. Jay would be in there. They'd be like, "Yo, Beyonce's upstairs right now." They'd be like, you know, obviously, you know, years later she's doing a collection with Topshop, you know, but. Rihanna's here, like everybody would
retail
come there,
was
popping, you know, and it was a store everybody wanted to be at, but people that had been in retail for years were like, "Yo, we want to be," you know.
It was just an opportune moment for you.
Yeah, but I mean, my community, it was a really robust place to be, so I would meet a lot of influential people in style and in music that would just even come to shop and we just have conversations and I'd be fresh or they'd ask my opinion and I'd invite them to my store and they would come through the store and come to the parties at the store and they'd be like, "Yo, what the Vashti's here." At the time, like Vashti, like, you know, big, Pharrell pulled up. That's, you know what I mean? Fucking...
you in the thick of it.
You know, we're in GQ. The stores in fucking GQ. Like, you know, I'm in, you know, G-Shocking it up, bringing me on to be an influencer. I'm in Complex Magazine for this G-Shock ad nationally. I'm on like, you know, G-Shock's fucking site and shit and all this stuff. I'm still working.
That's amazing.
Yeah, bro. But I'm working at Top Man, learning like, this is how you run retail efficiently. This is the vibe. This is how it should sound.
Yeah.
This is how we should treat each other. This is how
it should feel.
This is how it should smell.
That's funny because most people go into retail just to get like a job, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just need to get a paycheck. Like, have you ever worked in retail?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I mean, I've worked in retail.
I think everybody.
Everyone, at some point, it's like almost like being a waiter. It's like,
Straight
if
up.
you're not a waiter, you work in retail. Like, those are the two lanes.
Yeah,
To like,
absolutely.
if you need to get a job and just like to do something part time, but for you were already this person building your value. It wasn't about money. It was about learning.
Yeah.
And you still had all this other stuff you were doing.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it was so for sure about learning, but it was also too about well, yeah, I guess it was learning, you know, but I just wanted to be on the ground with it, you know what I mean?
The trenches.
Yeah, like, because I want to know how it felt. Like, what type of boss would I never want to be and why? You know, I want to know that boss. I want to have that person in my...
What does the ground level of the organization look like?
Exactly. And, like, how would I correct it, you know?
Yeah.
And so ended up doing that. The work that I did with that store ended up opening up a door with Nike to do art direction for some stuff. And
Wild.
then Audemars Piguet, designing out their in-store influences, which is also...
You know what's wild? Every time something lit goes down, there's a fucking, I swear to God, it's a police truck, fire truck, ambulance, like no bullshit.
Who needs that button?
Yeah.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
Fucking life is that button.
Uri
right now.
Jamil, bro,
life
it
is
is
that
being
button.
spoken beautifully, my friend,
Bro.
by
yeah.
the world itself.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
I hope
Straight
whoever's
up,
in there is safe or they're all good.
Right, yeah,
But I'm glad that
absolutely,
they
yeah.
streamlined down Wilshire.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I mean?
Straight up. The route to safety, the route to
Just
rescue.
the route to opulence, because
Yeah.
we rare right now,
Yeah,
baby.
bro. But man, we
So wait, wow, it went Nike, Audemars,
Yeah,
and these are
yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. So I was like, man, that's crazy. I'm like talking to these people and like creating stuff, you know, for them on this level. And it wasn't like the Audemars thing was huge. The Nike thing was you know, but it was, the opportunity was,
Yeah.
in terms of the numbers and the
Yeah.
pay, you know what I mean? But they ended up getting me more into corporate. I ended up getting a job marketing at this marketing firm called Track Marketing. At the time, I met this wonderful, incredible woman, named Erica, and she was at Pepsi, and she introduced me to a bunch of, cool people. One of those people had an opportunity that made sense for me, and she helped me open up that door. Shout out to Erica, she's incredible.
Awesome.
I still love her very, very much, and I miss her friendship, but she is definitely responsible for a part of my story for sure, because I spent 5 years with her.
Wow.
4 years with her.
Wow.
I'm like a relationship dude, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I love freedom, but I need a home.
Yeah.
I love having a home. It's not really about stability. It's about comfort,
Yeah.
It can be unstable in terms of adventure, not in terms of negativity.
Yeah.
Though when it's too unstable in terms of negativity, because you don't really know too many energies. Some girls might have like dark energy, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep that away from you, so,
within an abyss somewhere.
yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
And for me, when I meet a woman that's like, her intentions are grand or pristine, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That could be a home for me.
Yeah.
And she's a friend, and so she helped me open up that door, and that got me more into the corporate side of things, and which was cool because I had this really dope resume.
Did you feel like you were truly blossoming here?
Yeah,
into the
man.
person you wanted to be?
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where I was like,
Your
man,
future
this
self.
is crazy. Yeah, because I was running everywhere. I was running to get to it, and I was so busy, and there were times where I wasn't making as much bread as I wanted to, but there were also times where I got checks that was like, let's go.
Yeah.
And but that struggle made me strong.
Yeah.
Right? Those muscles got stronger. So, if I didn't have how people might people stress if they can't pay their rent.
It's the worst thing in the world.
People stress if they can't pay
You can't
that
be
phone
creative
bill.
and be broke.
That's
Yeah.
great point. I mean, how that's actually something we should talk about. How do you maintain being creative if you're struggling to pay your bills?
Man, it's I remember being fucking stressed. My friends could see it on my face. They would always ask me what's wrong, because I'm a very happy person, and I'm not smiling. If my mood is more melancholy, my friends know that there's something going on, and it would be because I was stressed about bills, and but there'd be that moment where a check came in and I paid it. So then that would happen, and that would happen over and over again, to where I look back and be like, why the fuck am I stressing? Yeah. It's gonna work out. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, it's gonna work out. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, it's just something better. You know what I mean?
Did you ever worry about like your financial future? Like if you were, when you're young, you have a tendency to just, you get the bills paid, do what you have to do, grind it out. Did you have a thought of, how am I going to build financially doing this in a place where it can grow and I could like have a real sustainable career?
Yeah. I mean, man, I never really thought about that,
That's interesting, yeah.
What I did think about, but I knew that existed for sure.
Yeah.
I knew I knew that I
Shout out to Anushi and 30 feet away from the mic, asking questions that only Earry and I can hear.
Go ahead, Anushi.
Did your choices lead you towards that? Earry doesn't like cigarette smoke, and I just had to smoke my last cigarette of the pack.
Man.
But that may not have been a thought, but were your thoughts actualized to the point where your choices were naturally guiding you towards that direction?
Absolutely.
Towards your worth.
Absolutely. But I always felt like I was going to have a lot of money.
I always, which is, I guess, weird to say, but I've always felt like money wasn't an option for me. It wasn't an issue for me, you know. Mm-hmm. I always felt wealthy, you know.
What do you think that was?
It was value in self, bro. Self-love.
Back to that value conversation.
The value of self, you know. And even still, you know, my family jokes, some of my family and friends, they call me money bags, you know. And, you know, when I'm doing very well now in terms of numbers, but with when I was younger, you know, I would ask why call me money bags. I'm fucking broke. You know what I mean? I'm going, you know? And, you know, they would always say like, yo, that's temporary. You're just learning how to do it gracefully. You're learning how to be wealthy, you know? And, you know, years later, I end up meeting, you know, friends that are miserable millionaires because they kind of hide behind those numbers and like those accolades where where they feel that it's the most special and unique thing about them, their earning power, where I feel that all that's in the background in comparison to my personality and my presence. And
you also have to be damn good at what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
yeah.
a lot of people skate on personality alone.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And personality wears thin when execution is necessary.
Absolutely.
Or when experience is necessary.
Absolutely.
Or when ability is necessary.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also, you know, that's part of who I am. That's part of my personality trait, right? It's like, I think, you know, being the, you know, I'm the underdog, really. You know, I didn't go to school for any of this shit. You know, my parents aren't connecting me with these things. Yeah. I knew no one in New York when I moved there. I left knowing everyone, you know, and, you know, before I had that stability, it was just like, man, Earry, you know, when you're in those moments, whenever I'd have a lot of bread and like able to do those types of things, I would say, Earry, whenever you're in those moments, fucking remember how you feel when you pay these things off. Yeah. Because you're gonna do it. Yeah. And it's inevitable. So you're really wasting time. You're devaluing your time and worrying because you know the end of the story.
For real.
I love that. You know, it's one of the most things I'm always the most curious about is dealing with the realities of trying to like go after your dreams and be happy, but also the realities of paying the bills and being financially sustainable and how to marry those two together. It's such a challenge, you know, you get so caught up. I mean, one of the things, you know, I've thought about a lot, you know, along my journey is once I have the money, I'll be happy. Mm-hmm. That was like always a constant thought. Like, I'm not going to worry about my happiness right now because once I, you know, have a ton of money, that'll come, but that's just not true. It's like, it's you have to invert it. You have to be happy, then the money comes, because it's, I think, I mean, a through line in your story is you've gone out after what you lose track of time doing. And and from what you're saying is that the money aspect has been like, look, it'll come. It always does. It'll come. And it's just an important point in determining how you live your life and, you know, what being fulfilled actually means. Absolutely. And what being successful actually means.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, including myself, I know, I'm sure Nushi's had his bouts with that too. And maybe even you, where it's like, I'm going to sacrifice my happiness until I get money. And sometimes you have to quarrel with that.
Absolutely. I mean, but you learned that too, you know? And I think it's something we all got to learn. You know, some people stay in jobs that make them miserable for their entire lives.
Yeah.
You know, for some people that's bearable, you know.
For the sake of independence.
Well, for the sake of stability. They stay in those things,
yes.
you know. But
how unstable is stable at that point?
Is that,
though?
I mean, is that real independence?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just replacing you're just replacing your parents with a new parent, a new, you know. Are you working for them or are you working with them?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's also tough to see like your social circle. I think when it gets tough, it's such a kind of a bullshit kind of thing. But when you see maybe your social circle, your friends rising up and making money and doing things, you might feel left behind.
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, I got to catch up, or I got, you know, these weird, you know, insecurities and just pointless pressures that happen.
Yeah, bro. But you know, I mean, we're all struggling in some way.
Yeah.
All of us.
It's a beautiful struggle.
Absolutely, you know? Yeah. And I think once we realize that that's the norm, that the ego of damn, he's running faster than me.
Yeah.
You know, is it's a lot less attractive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, for that time I was just like, man, I can't let money determine whether I'm happy or sad. I can't let that control me, you know? So if I didn't have bread, I would develop that happiness muscle.
Yeah.
Of choosing. Happiness is not always an easy choice, man, you know?
Absolutely.
And especially in those times, but it's never not our choice.
It's never not our choice. You're right.
Sometimes it's a hard choice, but sometimes we just give up on making the choice. You know?
Being that your choices have led, because I feel like you've taken such an unconventional path to conventional marketing, design, and all of these principles, right? And you're also now at a point where your work has spoken with itself, but you're in a position where you could take in work that you want and do special projects that you want, and also building this community and this tribe around your experiences. But now your pop-up shop, or now your space, is literally the cities in which you'd want to have them in, as opposed to the space in and of itself. Right? With that considered, along your career path up until when you came out here, or along your career path up until you broke off on your independence, understood the machine, but are also able to be an outside, like a straight, SEAL Team 6 member of a machine where they call you in for the big projects. What were some of your milestones career-wise and experiences that you had within them until the point in which you broke off as one of those trained assassins that comes in when a big or when something very specialty oriented needs to be done, and you don't need to be a part of the cog in the system anymore?
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. I ended up getting hired. Nike ended up hiring me to move here. Well, hiring me to be their lead designer in a secret design lab that they have here in Marina Del Rey.
Secret design lab.
Yeah, it's a super cool space. While I was there, I was, this is the job of my dreams. Crazy, I got brought in. I got recruited by one of my friends. Was someone who Erica introduced me to. She introduced me to an agency owner who was handling Nike, and then they brought me into the space, moved me here, and basically I was dream job. I was commissioned to basically sit down with celebrities and place their story inside of Nike product.
That's insane.
So you're sitting down with Spike Lee talking about life, and then he walks away with a jacket, and then you send him a jacket that basically goes through
his life as you know it in that conversation.
Wild.
So what ended up happening, you know, it's kind of like these love letters to the Nike influencers and product. One of one, handmade, one of one in this lab that I headed, right? So I sat down with these guys to like get these stories out, you know, and sketching ideas, writing down touch points, you know, dream job, yo, dream for my dream brand as an athlete, and you know, as a Chicago kid, you know, that's Jordan, that's, you know, it's everybody, Pippen, that, you know. So when I get there, when I get the job, I move to LA. I move in with my girl at the time. We have a house in like down the street from the design lab in Venice, Raphael, Abercrombie, and she and my mom says, "Earry, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
this is incredible.
Yeah,
but don't lose track of the goal, right?" Which is so important to me, man, because she knows I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know?
I'm saying this dude's talking about his dream job, and his mom's like, "I feel you, but
don't lose track."
Because you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, Nike is dope, but you're bigger than Nike.
It's all a work for hire at the end of the day,
dude.
But you're bigger
it's
than Nike.
It's, you know, because man, and like being in there, we are.
Yeah.
Nike's an idea. Nike is a story that we all
have bought into,
but
through decades.
It's not above us, though. You
No.
know? It's really just a story that we've supported. You know, a story that would be really nothing without
that we're
us.
attached to.
Yeah, and that's what all brands are. That's what all brands are. You know? But my mom, her saying that was just like, man,
how were you fresh in? Like, was this time?
Man, I wasn't even my first day. No, it was my first day actually on my way there. Actually,
you got in. She was like, "I'm so proud of you, but also keep your eye on a prize,
on the prize, on the real one." You know?
Wow.
And she, you know, I had always thought my mom just wanted stability for me. You know. And her telling me that, and I thought that she really didn't care about me, it being something that I was designed for, you know, because
the pursuit of literal happiness.
Yeah, because part of it was all in my head. Mm-hmm. She never really said that, but I know that she cares about her son. You know, those times when, you know, those times in college when you're like, "Yo, I need some bread." You know, or like, you know, or even after college where it's like, "Yo, moms, I need some help," you know, that conversation and, you know, my mom like wanting it to be as comfortable for me to ask for help.
Such a fucking beautiful feeling, bro.
Man, you know, for me.
That's liberating.
For her to say, "Love, I got it's done. Look at your account. It's done. Whatever you need, baby, you know."
Mm-hmm. Turn on your heater.
Yeah. But
log into your Gmail. You'll see the notification, and you'll be online again.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Like literally, like, you know, working miracles like that, man. And you know, we got to be in those moments too, man. You know, that's a part of our story that we might not embrace, but it's a real part of our success too. Because,
see, do you see that?
The life buttons.
The city's moving.
The city is moving, but like it's happening. I'm just gonna let it rock. Y'all hear this? This ain't a joke.
Low key, yo, high key.
Shit, high key.
Super high key.
My falsetto is high.
Straight up. Yeah.
Exactly. That was it.
Somebody's glass just cracked. Got the Mariah Carey falsetto, high key. But yeah, man, and like, you know, that lets you know that you're not alone. And all humans, we need community. We're built on community is a huge part of what it is to have quality of life, really.
Absolutely.
So, my mom letting me know that, letting me know I'm not alone, when I need someone, that even now gives me the courage to go at things, knowing I'll always be able to talk to mom.
Straight up.
That's part of me really, really knowing I don't lose, I learn, because, even though, the help isn't about financial anymore, it's still, valuable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What was the moment where you broke off and set out towards community?
Man, really, New York was a huge part of that, because, my whole, my circle there's such brilliant minds, man, but I got a chance to know them as just people, and admire them as brilliant minds now, when I'm getting the chance to see their work and witness their abilities. When I moved to LA, I would run into people, sitting from a conversation earlier, that all they would ask was like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Second question. And this is when I worked at Nike, and I would answer those questions, and then I would see their face like, Nike.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
You're important.
Yeah. Now I'm interested in talking to you.
And then,
wow, you really helped me validate that one, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Thumbs up and shit, right? And, hey, girl, this is the guy that works at Nike. Come here.
He's kind of cute, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
To where I got
motherfuckers get super sexy out of nowhere.
And
they already had it in them, but it's just like, ooh.
It made me so turned off.
Uncomfortable.
And I felt that happen over and over again, more frequently by far than I had ever felt it while in New York.
Wow.
No one really asked me what I did in New York. They just, wanted to know who I was. Yeah. We just, maybe we talked about a day like, man, I have mad meetings, man. But, but no one would ask, like, what do you do? We're like, oh, word, yeah, man, me too, bro. Crazy,
I love how
man.
cats try and get creative with saying, what do you do? Like, I've heard that, like, what's your thing around here?
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
When people ask me now, I always challenge them to ask a better question.
Straight up.
I suggest that they ask, what do you lose track of time doing now? Shout out to my mom,
And you'll see cats stutter step.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
Because that's who you really are, Like, do I want to know who you are? Or do I want to know how I can use you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what you are.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like that's really what it is when they ask you what you do. It's like, how can I use you? Who do you know? Who?
That's exactly
what favor can I ask you for in the future?
Yeah.
And when no one
what
asks
world can I place you in to bookmark that?
It actually would be an interesting test to like an interesting social experiment if you just never asked what anyone did ever.
Yeah.
And just like
you'd have to find out.
I don't ask what people do.
Yeah.
No,
but it would just be interesting.
I don't ask people
if you meet new people,
you'll find out who people are, and then what they do comes out.
Yeah,
and really,
because it's not vice versa.
That's also thirsty to me too.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had to dabble last night around the "what do you do" question, and I was just like, I live life, because if you're going to ask that question, living life is very formidable to what I do.
Well, but the people,
basic ass question.
But the people that are asking, like, if you're on, you're not searching for what people do. You know, if you're on, you're like, "What's up, brother? It's good to meet you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who are you?
Yeah. How's your day been?
Absolutely.
And also, what you do doesn't define you. It could
Absolutely.
be. It could be it could actually be the polar opposite of who you really are.
Yeah.
You may just be like an insane beast.
Yeah.
Of who you are.
Yeah.
But you may just be like, an accountant in a cubicle.
Absolutely.
Shout out to accountants, though. I love you.
Accountants are really fresh too, man.
But
Earry's looking for the motherfucker that loses time and crunching those numbers.
I feel you.
Straight up.
But
I am, actually.
it's like,
where you at?
but it just it doesn't
do a
have to.
count.
You know, I think, and we were talking about this earlier. It just doesn't have to define what you do. Doesn't have to define who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, that's a confidence that we haven't been really taught to have. You know, so many people associate value with what they do. The Nike thing, man, there are people that get Nike tattooed on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people that are brilliant in other ways that would never leave Nike because of that stability. You know what I mean? Or because
and
of
allure.
Or because of that, they're branded as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're
ingrained in the culture.
They are those shoe boxes on those shelves.
Absolutely.
On the shelves of Nike.
They have always just done it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They've you know, the same way that we, you know, pay for apparel and shoes, you know, Nike pays for them. You know what I mean? That's their salary, you know, and you know, but is it on your own terms? Yeah. You know, I know people that are really miserable at Nike.
Like, you got a cat like Kanye, right, who has Donda and is going in all these ventures. Now, yeah, Kanye has Donda. Now the creators that really create these platforms for themselves, whatever their intention is, through time it'll be told. Yeah. But every vessel needs brilliant young minds to come, you know, assist in the process, right? Yeah, so it's like you had these experiences to where you're in this fucking secret Delta design force where you're talking to these influencers about depths in their story and creating one-of-ones, which is like such an intimate process. Mm-hmm. Also coming to a city where you realize like, damn, like this is all, like, is this it?
Right. I was so lonely here, bro.
Is this it? Is this what like the mountaintop looks like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this what me watching Jordan from the fucking free throw line feels like?
Right, yeah.
Right? My attachment to that?
Yeah.
Right?
And you know, I had to realize too, which is really important, that attachment, man, it wasn't valuable. You know? It wasn't valuable, and that made me even more confident as a person, you know. Yeah. I ended up leaving, and you know, that environment was a negative environment, partially because of the woman that was kind of managing the space, my manager. Yeah. She wasn't a creative. She was, you know, just more of a negative, you know. But she had these moments of love, you know, that she would show for people. But you could tell that there was, you could tell that there was an internal, turmoil that she struggled with, and that she, you know,
and that was affecting the space.
Absolutely, you know, and you know, I remember the space just being negative, and eventually, kind of her pointing the finger at me, where, I mean, I'm the nicest person, you know, and me leaving, right? And, you know, years later, I spoke to one of the women that worked there in the lab with me. Not even in the lab. She was, she worked really closely with us, but she wasn't inside that space. She was right next door to the space. They had meetings every other day. Yeah. And she was like, Earry, in the office, you were such a bright light. Yeah. You were the only person that I knew I would be able to smile with during the day, you know, because it was a crapshoot with everybody else. Wow.
When dreams become reality. Yeah. And that reality is like, whoa.
Yeah.
When you left, was it an easy decision for you to leave such a huge kind of like opportunity?
Yes.
Was that
oh my God.
Was that a wall that you had to? Was it one of those like wall moments where or was it just like, look?
Yes out, dog. If there was a wall, he was flying by it in a helicopter.
It was easy. You're saying?
I felt enormous, bro. I felt enormous.
Oh, so I got you. Yeah,
he latched on to a private jet and flew off like Bear Grylls.
Okay. So, but at the time as well, I was designing for Beats by Dre. I was designing all their global product collaborations
at the same time.
Yeah.
Fucking lit.
Okay, so you didn't really need to.
Yeah, I didn't
see
need
what you
Nike
mean.
really, you know.
Yeah.
And Beats made me feel so valuable, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Okay,
Yeah.
Man, watch me turn up over here.
Yeah.
Ended up leaving Beats,
You jump on the
getting
jet.
no straight up, because
He was on a one-handed fucking
yeah,
fork glide.
straight up,
Yeah.
nothing. It's
Is this the
nothing.
wall Donald built? I'm jumping over. I'm not even
I got
Latino.
you. Yeah.
Bro, literally, you know, I'd be in Nike Design Lab, finish a product, work right on
Beats.
you know, a Beats and Versace.
Okay, so yeah, so you did.
Yeah.
Same,
Lit.
yeah, same, like lit.
Awesome.
Yo,
Yeah.
so, but I knew my worth, man, and you
And
know,
that started to stack it up, though.
yo, so
Gold stamp after diamond stamp.
what also happened too with Beats, so lit, they were like, yo, I negotiated to where I didn't have to be in the office.
Lit.
So it was a consultancy, and they basically paid me a retainer to do whatever you know, work was required of me.
Was
And I-
bestowed
and I-
bestowed upon you.
it was crazy to just be able to make whatever I wanted to,
Yeah.
you know, for Beats, and that, you know, because they had a really dope buzz at the time,
Yeah.
really big buzz. And I was designing stuff for LeBron James, and like, you know, something that we made personally for him, and you know, the VP of Beats filming his reaction and seeing Brian like, yo, these are fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Man, that's amazing.
Seeing him look at something that I made, and like, you know,
Mama, we made
my
it.
hands made this.
Literally.
And seeing him be like, yo, this is
Yeah.
crazy, you know? You know, I had that confidence, you know?
Yeah.
So, so the woman that kind of negative influence, she owned the agency that brought me in. The other agency owner was this incredible guy named Jürgen. And he was like, yo, I'm not letting you go. Like, I need you to still be here. So they brought me in as head of new business, right? And I mean, what am I at this time? I'm like 26. Bro, like, their clients, Hennessy, Nike, the Grammys, like huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
26, had a new business, huge, right? But in 3 months, I'm bringing in Beats by Dre. 3 months, that's, you know, $500,000 immediately. I'm bringing in American Express, MX. I'm bringing in Pepsi. Like, we're having real conversations with these companies. 3 months, you know, my commission is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, crazy. And, you know, what ended up happening was a woman that, you know, I riffed with, she threatened to leave the agency, which she was managing partner.
Wow, because
she
of
would
you.
take she would take so much away from the brand because of, she said if I stayed, she couldn't be there. Crazy. But I was
Wild.
winning so much. I brought in $3 million in prospective revenue for that year and 3 months. She hadn't done that in years.
Yeah.
Years, you know, and you know, she felt that I was trying to grow the company too fast, and it was arrogant, and you know, but I wasn't at all.
Like,
I'm the
what?
most humble guy. These are all people that
Oh,
love.
for sure.
They
love
came
me
in
as a
off
person.
relationships.
These are friends.
Yeah.
Giving you guys an opportunity.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, you know, with tears in his eyes, Jürgen, you know, said, man, I have to let you go, bro, because we won't survive if she leaves. She takes too much, you know? And I'm like, man, it's okay. He's like, I'm going to pay you a beautiful bonus, and man, whatever you need, it's done for me, you know? So when I left, that $3 million left. Beats cut
Yeah.
we're not fucking with you guys.
Yeah.
We came in for
This
Earry.
is why we were fucking with y'all. Like, all right.
Of course, yeah.
Beats cut the plug, so they lost Beats, they lost Pepsi, they lost MX as well, but continued to make really ill shit for Beats for a few years, and then Got introduced to Fox and started doing stuff with doing art direction stuff with The Simpsons.
Incredible.
Yeah, man, and a bunch of other like really cool. Like I started doing stuff with Microsoft, doing like really cool like.
Are you independent at this point?
Yeah.
So you're like an independent, just like dude.
I mean, now I can say no.
That's lit.
Which is going back. You said the most powerful word in the world.
I say no a lot, man. You know, if numbers got to be right, of course, boom. That's like we can have a conversation, right? If the numbers are right, but if the opportunity, I have to get to know the person that I'm working with.
Absolutely,
I need them to know that I'm not working for. I don't work for anybody. I only work with people. You know, and then you know, and then I say yes or no. You know. Straight. But right now I'm consulting with a few brands that I'm really, really happy about. Brands I grew up with.
Incredible.
I can't talk about one of them, but
I'm not even gonna ask
soon.
Soon
I'll be able to. But yeah, huge, really, really cool.
Incredible.
And and now you know it's interesting, but I'm not even really. It's crazy. You know. I started when I moved here feeling like that disconnect with people. I knew there was still really dope people here. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting down with two incredible human beings.
Thank you.
And, but how do I find you? You know? And I would go out and, you know, friends, some of my friends are really big DJs, so they'd have residencies at a One Oak or whatever, you know? And when they're in town, I'd go out, you know, treated like royalty, perfect. But you know,
that's one of one.
Yeah, but you also see the whole thing of that interaction. Clubs is when people create their communities here because it's so spread out.
Yeah.
I met a lot of my friends side by side,
yeah,
just going through the world in New York, you know. But you know, here, you gotta go places to really meet people. So I, you know. Long ass line getting into a club and you get in and there's nobody.
Yeah,
the worst.
Right? Or the bouncer's a dick.
Yeah, the doorman has a big ego.
And then when you get in, it's like fuck.
Like y'all really sweating this?
You're not even having a good time.
Yeah.
Then you get in.
Your experience is already sour.
Can't do it.
Then you get in and then it's so segregated. Everybody's confined kind of to their tables.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's dancing around a table, kind of looking at each other. Not even really dancing, just looking cool, just like looking around.
Where's the vibe at?
You know, and it's corny.
Very corny.
Straight out of a
horrible,
cheesy
Night at the Roxbury fucking clip that didn't make it.
That's even cooler.
Absolutely. You know, but it's it's reality that I saw in LA. While I was at Nike and when I was at Beats and these other brands and I'll be like, man, it has to be something cooler. So I started this case study called See You Soon and started DJing as well because I felt like learning the way people interact with music.
Yeah. If the DJs aren't going to do it, I'm going to learn how to DJ and try and do it.
Same with design, you know?
Bang.
Yeah.
Theme of my story of my life, you know?
Bang, bang.
So, you know, and really that's the theme of my life, hands down, creating things that I wish existed. Creating things that not only I wish existed, but that fills voids.
Yes.
You know? And so, and just figuring out how to fill those voids really well. So, I ended up starting this thing through a couple parties, you know, in about 8 months it's grown to about 30,000 subscribers in LA where, you know, we kind of honed in on designing moments that are a lot more conducive to connectivity.
Yeah.
So strangers can come into a room and meet each other, you know, and you really build your community. So we learn like what are the things that people usually encounter that make it hard to be in a space of like let me connect with strangers. Lines, you know, and my things I really try to, you know, so I started this thing, you know what I mean? It's turned into something interesting in LA, you know, and I'm kind of inside of it as a DJ now, and I design, but
curator.
Yeah, but I've been curating and DJing. I mean, but I've been DJing more than anything, I guess. Man, a lot in the past, 2 years, about year, where, my brand is going back to design really as well, because you're creating things for people initially. So it's not ever really about, you want them to feel something when they see that ad. You want them to feel something when they pick up that shoe. You want them to feel something when they are in that room, So all creativity is really, it's never about how it looks. It's never about how it sounds. It's really all about how it feels, And
that's going back to like even the Montgomery, Alabama party that, to the Lofts, and even like, giving those people something to experience. It's all connected. It seems like that's
feel
been
something, be attached to a moment.
That's
been how those units like got bought, you know what I'm saying? Filled up.
Absolutely.
They attach the space to a moment. As opposed to just the space in an area.
And to a feeling too, man. You think like now I create things that make people look cool when they share it. And but that's also, that's that's incentive as well. That's because you are fucking cool. You know what I mean? You are fucking cool. And furthermore, I believe that they make that thing cooler when they share it.
I'm right.
Absolutely. But how do I make that easy for them? Sometimes, with marketing, and you share marketing for something, you share it and it's cheesy, and they're like, yo, what's this? Or, but you share something that looks really cool, and you're like, yo, have you seen this shit though? And Starting to See You Soon thing is turned into this really cool community based on love and like, family. It feels like a family when you're at one of our parties. It feels like a house party. And it's in a club, but it feels like I know everybody in here.
And you can roll up to a homie of a homie's house and still be welcome.
Absolutely, that's how it feels.
You're the best friend.
With the exception of sometimes they staff it wrong with like whack bouncer or whack door guy.
Sometimes that's out of your control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you're
that's
playing,
still very important
until you have the space where it all goes down. And
which is
ownership.
Which is happening.
You like that? You like that? Just like that?
Oh no, bro!
Foreshadowing,
bro.
I know.
Absolutely.
Even when I don't, I know.
Oh, that's happening. We're actually.
You goddamn right you are.
We're in the process of getting our own space.
As you should.
As well, man. Because we bring clubs a lot of bread. And they don't really want us to make as much.
And you're gonna see them soon.
Man, absolutely, bro. I mean, See You Soon. It was really an idea to like just build a community. We'll this year, if all things go according to plan, we'll do 500,000.
Incredible.
That's incredible.
Easy, bro. In 9 months.
Yeah,
incredible.
That's wild.
Which is super wild. I would never get that from a Nike, bro.
No.
You know how high you got to be to get 500,000 from Nike in house, not athlete. You know what I mean? Not entertainer. You know, like you.
No, there's somebody else that'll work for less.
Maybe Tinker's getting $1 million. You know what I mean? But there aren't many designers that are making 500,000. And especially, I don't have to spend a lot of time, on See You Soon. It's something that's very organic. And it's something that really requires a lot of love, but not a lot of time. You know, it just takes valuable time. It takes making really good decisions. You know, but at Nike, I would be working for 12 hours, bro. You know what I mean? And making $70K. It's like now I'm like. $70K is nothing. You know what I mean?
Ceiling. What are the What's the conversation now with your mom?
Man, you know, my mom she's really, she's proud. She's my friend now more than ever, you know.
But is she saying, you know, Earry, don't lose sight, or is she, where?
No, she loves where I am.
Yeah.
Man. Loves where I am right now. She knows it's a beginning. She's really proud of me.
I love that she's like, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the beginning. So.
Yeah.
No, we talk about it all the time.
You've started.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about it all the time, man. You know, man, I mean, we got to have those types of conversations, those types of standards in our conversations, man, you know? Yo, like that's nutrition.
Yeah.
You know?
It's exquisite.
And she's, man, yeah. So she's like, man, I'm proud of you. You know, she loves. I'm in love.
Are you proud of you?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely proud of me. You know, the being in love piece is huge too, because my mom kind of gets to see that I did become the man that she deserved in her life. Mm-hmm. You know, 'cause my dad really, you know, the way that their relationship was, I don't think she felt like my dad really was the guy for her.
Yeah.
And her dad, she had kind of a weird relationship with him. They were really distant, and you know, so you know, she sees me kind of being a really good man to someone, you know. So she's super duper proud of that as well.
It's all being actualized right now.
Yeah.
It's the beginning.
Super proud of that, you know. But man, yeah, I'm so proud of me, man.
I love it.
I know my trajectory. It's been so interesting, you know. So interesting. It's been kind of like a rocket, with no direction, but there's so much power.
Yeah. You just got a jetpack on ultra
in
boost.
it. Yeah,
But it's still going up.
and it's still it's going up. Absolutely, it's going
No
up.
direction, but up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And it knows it's a rocket, and it knows, you know, its ability, but it's just finding its way, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel that I'm still young in that regard. I've seen life kind of show me that longevity isn't about getting it first or fast. You know, if you want it fast, you don't want it for long.
No.
You know, if you want it now, you don't want it for long, you know? But if you want to start working on building it now, you know, if you know that that's a road that you're invested in going down, then there's longevity in that, man. And all the things that I've done, I've built for longevity. I think, you know, I've struggled, but it hasn't been, you know, it hasn't been crazy. You know what I mean? You know, even in the beginning, you know, with Byron Barry, you know, him, you know, that goal with my professor, to make, you know, 50K. I mean, and you know, more so I made, you know, Byron that 50K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, and our percentage wasn't, you know, it was a lot more than what any college kid that I knew was making, you know, but you know, that goal was still like, man, I can create something that brings.
There was a
in
possibility and you
dollars.
attained it.
Absolutely, you know, and you know, bringing that to like now, I'm trying to make 50K a month. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do, you know, 50 a month. You know, we can, like, if I can make 20K a month, I can make 50K a month.
Yeah.
Easy. You know what I mean? And that number changing.
Yeah.
If I can make 70, I can make 100.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the point. The money, the number's not important. The number
At all.
It doesn't
At all. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
do it.
It's the ability. It's the confidence. And really also too, bro, the money is fucking, it's nothing. It doesn't really exist. You know?
because once again, like, that doesn't make me valuable,
No.
and that doesn't take my value away. That doesn't lower my value either. You know?
You had the value you had when you were broke and struggling in New York to what it is now. The money has nothing to do with that.
Nothing, bro. Absolutely. I mean, yeah,
You
man,
had the
I love
value
that. Yeah.
before.
And I always have the value, you know? So,
Exactly.
you know, that with that gift, I can gamble, you know, because I'm never really going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm only really going to learn. I'm never going to lose myself, you know?
Well, like you just said, you're never really going to lose. You're only going to learn.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, bro. So, I mean, you know, now, you know, I think more about the ideas. Like, is the idea something that's bringing people value? I study Apple. I study Einstein a lot. I study a lot of, you know, really, really good writers and entrepreneurs and thinkers that cared about humanity.
Yeah.
And that gambled heavy. You know what I mean? On
You have to
themselves.
if you want to change shit.
Yeah, they gambled on themselves. You know what I mean? And shit. You know, I think that's where my story is now. You know, it's like, man, the biggest gamble is on your dreams, bro.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
very few are equipped to go down that path.
Very few. We all have the chips, but a lot of us aren't willing to give them up.
There's instinct.
Put them on the table. You know what I mean? A lot of us aren't, man.
Yeah.
And you know, if there's a theme to my story, to my legacy, hopefully it is, you know, that I invest my time and my efforts in ideas, you know, that are bigger than me, you know. Right now, you know, growing up, only seeing my brothers, my dad, and my other family members, you know, the way that we all grew up, man, the way that we see ourselves in the media as black men, and, you know, the way, you know, there are times, bro, when, you know, a black guy is walking down the street past another black guy, and both of them are terrified of each other.
It's wild.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, what the, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but it's because of, you know, if you're walking down the wrong alley, the wrong time of the night, and if that's the wrong person, some crazy shit could happen, and that's what the media teaches us, man. You know, when you only see
platform,
crime doesn't really have a color. You know what I mean? But color's kind of been associated with a lot of types of crime. You know, and for me, I think the marketing engine behind race is something that is real. You know, it's
sinister.
Yeah, absolutely. It made it cool, and it made it also scary, you know?
The level of propaganda just in and of itself thematically is just wild.
Absolutely, you know? But for me, I think one of my stories, I hope my legacy, which is something I've thought about a lot. I think we all should think of that. What will we be remembered for, you know? My legacy hopefully will be that, you know, I've shown a beautiful mirror of like what people of color really, who we really are. You know what I mean?
Amazing,
Absolutely. I didn't have me growing up. If I met me growing up, how different would my story have been? You know what I mean?
It's like back to the role model.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now you are your role model.
I am, bro. It's fucking dope, man. You know?
Absolutely.
It's fucking dope, you know? But, you know, I need to be that for a lot of other people. Yeah. You know, we need to be that for a lot of other people.
And we are.
You know?
The ones that are will find themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why I literally can jump on the phone right now, call your mom, and on behalf of you, say, Mama, we made it!